Hello, hello! Good evening! The game title is not yet a thread, but we sure can make it a thread. I can make this a thread. You better be happy. How y'all doing? I hope you're well. It's a hi! Everyone go wish Timmy a happy birthday. Thank you for that your time. Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you. I hope you're all doing well. It is once again Wednesday. It's once again Wednesday. I have to admit, my week is completely screwed. Screwed over. Like my sense of time. I keep thinking today is Friday. You're so sweet, no you? Hope you're having a good one today. I keep thinking today is Friday. Because I went home to visit my parents, and I usually do that on Thursdays, right? One of those reasons why I also don't stream on Thursdays, because I'm usually just not actually able to. If I don't have a computer. Okay, you get a post chat. And the Pikachu. And then I can finish my story. Pikachu. Pika. Pikachu. Threaten me again with the happy I dare you. Try me. No, but I went back home. So I used my car to get to work today, and I usually do that on Fridays. So I keep thinking today is a Friday because I went to work with my car. It is not a Friday. It's Wednesday. It just keeps fucking with me. It's been like this the entire day. I keep thinking, what? Why am I playing Please Be Happy today? Isn't it Friday? Shouldn't I be doing Tokyo Mirage sessions? But yeah, here we are. Back with more Please Be Happy. I think we should be able to actually make it to the beginning of Aspen's route, at least. I'm hoping we can make it. What the? What? Oh. 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 Because last time I looked it up, that I don't know. I don't really have a proper guide for the game, but someone on Steam was nice enough to at least kind of write down like, oh, you know, there's this choice. If you choose this one, you get on Aspen's route. If you choose this one, you get on Juliet's route. So I think that's going to be coming up sometime soon, because it said something about Aspen's parents, and that's kind of where we are. We stopped after.
How far did we get last time?
I was just about to explain. Calm down. We stopped right after going to the cinema with Aspen. We watched a horror movie. which I still think was it. I think they watched it, or some kind of reference to it at least. And I made a save here because I want to try and visit every single place that we can possibly visit. We have tried the bay before. We've also been to the botanical garden before. I'm gonna try to go to the mountain, I think. I have no idea if that actually counts for anything. I'm just gonna try. Looks like some tourists left out breadcrumbs for the seagulls because they're totally dominating the lookout today. I lightly shoo them away, trying to make my way to a bench so I can rest my feet. But the further I get into the whirlpool of wings, the more I realize they must have found something even better than bread if there are this many of them. I thought we are not supposed to actually give birds bread. Curiosity gets the better of me. What's got them so excited? What the? How did they manage to snag an entire meter-long super sub sandwich? Not even I've ever managed to steal one of those. I'm so jealous. You could buy one. I promise you, you could buy one. You earn money now. Is this? Ah, yeah, that is a different thing. Okay, cool. Good to know. Let's try Cuba Street. It's a little hot today, so I sit in the shade of a shop's awning and enjoy the small bit of air conditioning that floats out the front door every time a customer passes through. Makes me think about how funny humans are, so determined to stay in one place that they build entire machines to blow hot or cold air if the weather isn't to their liking. In nature, you either adapt or move on. As a fox, I'd love the heat. Hot weather means lots of fruits and bugs to snack on, and lying out in the brambles and letting my fur get all nice and warm. But in this form, well, it's a little less efficient, and I can't really pant the same way I can as a fox. Or rather, I can, but people would stare at me funny. Come to think of it, why am I even here? I'm gonna go round and round as a fox for a while. Ooh. Alright. And is it... Ooh. We all go to Aspen's home? What? Okay, Aspen's home it is. Aspen's home is taking a long time to load. Jesus. Late in the evening, Aspen sends a message to Julia to let her know that she's ready for us to come over, and the two of us walk down to the address she gave us. Julia leads the way, of course, since I don't know many of the streets by name. Mood. Me either. I know how to get the places I need to, but I don't fucking know what the street names are. We eventually arrive at an unremarkable looking apartment building just a few stories tall and without many decorations out front.
This is the place. I believe she's on the ground floor.
Oh, really? Ground floor? Not too far away, one of the doors swings open and Aspen pokes her head out to wave us over.
Miho, Juliet.
Hi!
Aspen!
Who else? Oh, not the Pikachu, sure. Miho, Juliet, Aspen, Pikachu! Booga booga! Pikachu! Thank you! Thank you for the pat. She holds the door open with one hand while pushing something away with her feet.
No, stay back.
Right, she has cats. She has 2 cats and she has not told us about them before last time, which I think is really weird. How do you own cats and never tell people, huh? I freeze halfway to where she is.
What's wrong? I said, no, not you, Miho. I'm talking to the cats.
Aspen gestures for us to come inside while keeping an eye on the floor. Juliet and I hurry in and Aspen shuts the door behind us.
Well, ta-da! Or something.
Ah!
Whoa!
The entire place is just one room except for a small bathroom. Right across from the door is a tiny kitchen area with a fridge, stove and microwave. Everything else is basically a bedroom. There's a dresser, a small desk with a computer and Aspen's bed itself. Some luggage boxes are scattered around, which I'm guessing were part of Aspen's cleanup. Oh, it looks nice. Looks cozy. I love the lamp. I'm a big fan of little fairy lights across the room. Those are things I wanted all my entire life, but because I've always had cats, I do not hang up stuff like this on principle because I don't want them to like tear it down. This is nice. The little lamp by her bed is also really cool. She's a laptop of some kind. Cute desk. Very nice. I like it. Nice apartment.
good kind of whoa.
Yes.
It's lovely, Aspen. I adore the fairy lights and plants. They make it feel
Why was
very
she so-
welcoming. Thank you for having us.
Why was she so weird about saying fairy lights?
Yeah, thanks. It was a
I
good
love
walk,
fairy lights.
Don't worry.
I didn't really have any expectations, but I'm still kind of surprised by how small it is. I figured she'd been exaggerating that part at least a little bit. The decorations make it feel fitting for Aspen though. 2 pairs of green eyes peek at us from around the corner, and both cats go dashing under the bed as we step further in.
Sorry there's not more space to sit down. You can see why I don't have company over very often.
Oh, I don't mind at all.
You can sit on the bed if you'd like. Or the computer chair. Oh, it's fine. I'm okay on the floor.
I mean, she does she have carpet on her floor? Didn't look properly. I take a seat with my back against the dresser while Juliet sits down on the bed as invited. Aspen ends up taking the sole chair for herself. Almost as soon as I sit down, I spring back up remembering the occasion.
Oh yeah! Happy birthday!
Yes, happy birthday, Aspen.
Woo!
Here's to another wonderful year.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. This year has been pretty good, I must say.
We don't know what exact time it is in game, right? Narrowing my eyes, I inspect Aspen, who notices and frowns at me.
Can I help you? You don't look any older. I'm glad to hear that. It doesn't just happen overnight on your birthday, though. Not that you would be aware of that, I suppose. Anyway, enough about that. Are you still hungry? We've already done everything there is to
Now
do
she's
here, I
she's
believe.
old now. She's 24, so she's old now.
Now you understand why I never have people over. It's fine. I don't mind just sitting around. But yeah, I'm always ready to eat.
Have you decided where you want to go?
I think so. There's a seafood restaurant that isn't too far away that I enjoy, but don't go to very often. Does that work for both of you?
Sure.
I'm okay with anything. I just like food.
Indeed. It's your birthday, so we'll have whatever you want.
All right. Let's get going then.
The restaurant is a bit of a walk from Aspen's apartment, but it's a nice day, so I don't mind. We end up at the pier not too far from the museum I visited. What's that? It's not a very big place, but it's bigger than the Bell House. Half of it juts out over the ocean itself. Oh, that's cool. We can sit right away at a long table with metal stools.
It sure smells fishy.
It's a seafood restaurant.
It's supposed to. That means it's fresh.
Our waiter brings 3 menus, setting one in front of each of us, and promises to come take our order soon. Aspen and Juliet both pick up their menus and start to flip through, so I do the same.
Let me know if you need help reading anything, Miho.
Ooh!
Thanks.
Fortunately, there are plenty of pictures. The Bell House could learn a thing or two from here. I'm even able to read some of the words like fish and corn, but there are others that I don't recognize at all.
What do you usually get here, Aspen? Well, they're most well known for their crab, although it's very messy. And expensive, so I've never had it. I usually get the clam chowder or fish and chips if I want to hate myself later.
Why would you hate yourself for getting fish and chips? I'm gonna admit I would be completely lost here because I do not like fish. I would not go to a seafood restaurant in the first place. Oh my god. Seafood restaurant in the first place, but I would be like... But I mean fish and chips.
Oh.
Why would you hate yourself for that?
What's chowder? It's like a thick soup. Oh.
What soup?
Isn't it hard to eat clams? I've tried before, but I couldn't get past the shells.
I think they open those.
They do that for you. No shells involved. Whoa! That's nice of them. I'm sure they'd be glad to hear that. Is there something you usually order when you go out to eat?
Has she ever gone out to eat before this? I don't think she has.
Oh, I've never been to a restaurant before. Unless you count the Bell House. Well, not as a paying customer at least. But I know how they work because I've seen them on TV.
Great.
I hope you enjoy your first time then. I will.
Both of you, feel free to order whatever you'd like. Don't worry about the price.
Ooh.
Don't worry, I wasn't.
A nearby door swings open, and for a second I can see into the kitchen as another waiter comes out carrying a big bucket. A number of spiny claws and legs poke out of it.
Wait.
Oh, is that the crab?
Hey!
They take the bucket to another table and set it down along with a big pile of napkins.
The crab? Yes.
No. I watch intently, curious to see how these people are going to get past the shells.
You shouldn't stare, you know.
I ignore her. I have to know. I grab some utensils that I've never seen before and use those to crack the shells. I watch, fascinated while they do. Turning back to Aspen and Juliet, I've made up my mind.
I want that!
No, you really? Clams were too hard, but I used to love eating crab. It's been a long time since I've had it though.
It would be nice to try at least once.
Sounds like it's settled then.
Okay, I guess we're having the crab. A waiter shows back up, a few glasses of water in hand, and Juliet orders for all of us. The waiter takes the menus back, saying our food should be out before too long. I sip my water and look around, enjoying the new experience.
Have you ever been here before, Juliet?
I haven't. As I'm sure you know, I don't go out to eat very often.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've been to similar restaurants.
Though I mean,
before.
arguably, I guess she could go out to restaurants in the evening when the sun is already going down. She would be fine that way.
You went to the Bell House back when it first opened, didn't you? I seem to recall you telling me that once.
I wonder if like it's a well-known fact that Juliet is a vampire. Like, she's probably had this library or like the building she actually lives in and turned it into a library at some point for a long time. So it's not like it's gonna be a secret. Like, oh, you know, the library owner just doesn't age.
I did, yes. I can still remember what I had. A chai latte with a blueberry
I would immediately go to a library that had a vampire, like, in charge, I think.
Were you working there yet? Oh no, it was a few years before I came to Welly. Although, Regina, my boss, wants to expand. There's going to be a second location opening in a couple months.
Ooh!
She asked me if I would consider being store manager.
Oh!
Oh, congratulations! That's quite the honor.
You'd get to run the whole place? I would still be working for her, but otherwise, yes.
Oh, you'd
I
have to
haven't
move for that,
decided
though.
to do it or not, though.
Just don't forget a book from the library. Can't hope the next person shall forget it. True that.
It would be a lot more work and responsibility, obviously. It would
I
take
feel
up
like,
much more of my time.
you know what I should actually do? I feel like I should put myself on some kind of library time. I'm like, okay, I take out a book from the library, and I now have 2 weeks to read it. If I don't finish it in those 2 weeks, I'll have to pay late fees. Maybe I could actually make it through my almost as long backlog of books. Yeah. I started a new book today because I forgot I already had, like, I'm already in the process of reading 2 different books, but one of them I've been trying and failing to read for months because it's just doesn't like do it for me. It sounded interesting when I bought it. You can read, what did they say? It's okay. The game is voiced. I'll read it out for you. When I bought it, it sounded interesting, and when I read the reviews for it as well, I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds nice. I bought it, and then I started reading it, and it's so I don't know, like. It's one of my first, like, Western books in a while, like originally written in English. when most of the stuff I've read recently has either been manga or light novels, so Japanese in the original language, or Chinese. So going back to something completely Western was very, very difficult, and I can't for the life of me get through it. But I already bought it, I already spent money on it. But it's like 500 pages of You bought a book of an author that made a series you liked, and there was just 5 different short romance stories in one book. Oh! Those are hit or miss, I feel like. Those are hit or miss. Last year, I read a book. It took me a long time, many months in between, and then for some reason, like at some point it went really well. Like I had read around 200 pages, painstakingly, then I took a break for what feels like half a year, and then I read the rest, like the other 600 pages in almost one go. And this person, I forgot the author's name. I can name drop an author's name if I want to. Hold on. Samantha Shannon. Because I read The Prairie of the Orange Tree last year, and Samantha Shannon has apparently written yet another book that does not connect to this one. But it's once again like almost the exact same length, because I saw it in the bookstore, and I'm like, it took me a year to read those 800 pages. I'm sorry, I'm not willing to take another plunge into one of her stories. It was great, but it had a bunch of really high-strung old English. And that's like, you have to be in the mood for that one. Surely the other book is good too. Yeah, no. Just because an artist can write one thing, that doesn't mean all of their stuff is that same thing. But yeah, so then I have another light novel I started, but that one's taking a while to like get into it. That one, that's what it's called. It's called The Alchemist Who Survived Now Dreams of a Quiet City Life, which is surprisingly enough not an isekai with that kind of title. It's just a light novel title. And that one has set itself up to be quite comfy, actually. But I forgot that I had started that one because I started it in January and then completely forgot about it. So I started another short story collection earlier today as well. So I think I'm gonna read the short story collection first and then try to get back to The Alchemist That Survived. Because I have so many first and second entries in book series, because those are the ones that go on sale on Bookwalker the most often. And then I have like another... I always start series, but I can never finish them. That's not good. I would not recommend that. Try to stick with one thing, see if it works for you. Do not buy everything that looks nice just because it's on sale. Of the Elfen series, of which you haven't finished the first one. I bought the first 3 books of The Witcher back when the Netflix series first season came out. I still have not read a single one of them. I bought the shiny new edition that came out in Germany because of the Netflix revival. And god damn it. So I feel ya.
I'm not sure if I want to put myself through that.
Which reminds me, I'm already going off topic from the game anyway. Reminds me, I wanted to ask if anyone would be interested in like some kind of book club thing where we choose a book. It does not have to be a book. It can also just be a manga series, whatever. And then we're like, hey, I don't know, we have 1 week. We want to read like 2 or 3 chapters, and then we can talk about it at the end of the week if anyone would be interested in that. Because I feel like it's always way more motivating to read stuff if you can then talk about it with people afterwards. But I'm not sure how I would go about setting the book club up, but I thought the general idea of it would be nice. If I can figure out how to make that work. You don't have time to read, all you read now is manhwa. I mean, that's also valid. I usually try to force is the wrong word because I still enjoy reading, right? But I try to force myself to read during my lunch break at work, because then it's like I stop myself from just scrolling down Twitter for like the full hour and then feeling bad because I don't really gain anything from doing that. Like I do enough of that at home. And I just focus on a book for about an hour during my lunch break, and then I will get through all of my stuff way more quickly. Because I always tell myself, oh, I'll just read something once I'm home from work. I have free time, and then I never do that, but I sure as hell spend like an hour or two on TikTok. You know?
That's understandable. I do think you'd be well suited for it, though.
I think Aspen could be a great manager, but if she has to move for it,
Yeah, you already do a lot at the other Bell House. Thanks.
Well, I mean,
Yes,
it depends on where the other location is supposed to be. If it's also somewhere in Wellington, that would be okay.
I told her I'll think about it and give her an answer by the end of next month.
Okay.
The building it'll be in is already a coffee shop, so it won't take too long to convert.
Good.
It all depends on some other things, really.
Like what?
Well, for one, I'd been thinking about keeping this a secret until I heard, but I finally finished a draft of my manuscript.
Ooh!
I sent it off to a few publishers to see what they think.
Oh, congratulations, Aspen. That's a stunning achievement.
Yeah! What are you gonna do with all your free time now?
Yeah, write more.
Thank you. That's a good question. I'm sure I'll spend plenty.
Hello. Good evening.
Other than that, I will need to find some new ways to fill my day. If all goes well, then I won't have time to help out at the new store.
How are you today? I'm good. How are you doing? You changed your username.
I'm getting rather ahead of myself, though. It's only been a little over a week since I submitted it.
Oh.
You
hope
will?
it works out for you.
You did. It's weird. No, it's no longer weird. Technically.
Me too.
We sit and talk about the usual stuff for maybe 15 or 20 minutes before a waiter comes out the kitchen carrying a giant bucket like the one we saw earlier. Aspen and I both gasp and awe as they place it on the table before us with a flourish, giving us a stack of napkins and tools like the other group.
Well, let's not just stare.
Oh,
Dig
God.
in.
I don't even know where to start.
I grab one of the pieces closest to me. It's hot, so hot I drop it on my plate. Aspen does the same thing with a yelp of pain. Juliet, on the other hand, seems totally unbothered as she calmly claims a portion for herself. Leaning in close, I blow my food to try to cool it down. While I do, I watch Juliet to observe how she does it. She smiles when she notices me watching and turns her hands to give me a better view as she uses the tool to crack the shell and get to the meat. Aspen seems to know what she's doing too once it's cool enough for her to handle. Now I just need to give it a try. I tried to mimic what I saw Juliet do, and after a moment of squeezing really hard, it finally works. Oh God, please, I don't want them to go into more detail of how they're actually going to eat this crab. I'm gonna...
That was a lot easier than trying to use my own claws.
I mean...
I should hope so.
I pile it onto my fork and take a big bite, finally getting to enjoy my prize. I feel my eyes go wide with how good it is.
Enjoying it?
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, she means claws like when she's in her fox form. I guess that's the last time she had any crab. I quickly finished the piece I was eating and then rushed to grab another one. It's a lot easier to crack now that I know what I'm doing. For a while, the only sounds coming from our table are those of us enjoying our food and the occasional sip of water. When our waiter comes by to give us refills, they look a little shocked at how much we've already gone through. When the bucket is finally empty and I sadly toss the shell of my last piece into the waste bag, Juliet seems to pick up on it.
Are you still hungry, Miho?
Oh, it's not enough for you?
Hungry? No.
Hungry?
Can I eat more?
Juliet glances at Aspen, who shrugs.
I could eat more.
Oh! The next time the waiter passes by, Juliet flags him down with a smile.
Could we get a second order of this, please?
A second crab? Oh, I thought you would order like something, I don't know, something smaller. It feels like it may as well be my birthday instead of Aspen's. No shots of the beautiful food? No. I do not mind though. I do not want to see a crab. Funnily enough, they're doing something I would never do. Which is order the most expensive thing on the menu when someone else is paying. Or like, you know, Juliet is paying. Like if someone else is paying for me, I would feel like I never do that. Like order the most expensive thing, even if people tell me like it's fine, just order whatever you want. I'm like, I'm not gonna order the most expensive thing though. Is Juliet rich? She's a vampire, and she owns an entire library. I would assume she has at least some amount of money. By the time we get through the second bucket, even I can't eat anymore, and we leave the restaurant in a bit of a daze.
I don't know if I've ever been this full in my life.
Me too. I think I'm set on crab for a long time now. Thanks.
A
for dinner,
150
though,
sandwich
Juliet.
once I felt bad about it for a week.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I feel it. On the other hand, it's like when people outright tell you, like, please do not worry about how much it costs, just like let me treat you. Then I feel like, oh god, I'm acting rude by going, oh god, I don't want to order something this expensive. It's a pain. Mio will probably take a while before she gets here. Mio, I think before Mio has some semblance of like social norms and that kind of stuff. I don't think she's gonna get that anytime soon.
Of course. It was my pleasure. I hope you've had a nice birthday.
I certainly have. Now, if I can make it back home, I'll call it a success. I feel like I've put on several kilos just from that meal.
Do they use kilos in Canada? Do they just use the same stuff we do?
Would you like me to call you a taxi?
No, it's fine. Walking some of this off will be good for me. I still have to pack and get ready for
I think
tomorrow.
they do, yeah, apparently.
I suppose Miho and I will head home as well then.
In my mind, it's always
Does that
like
sound okay,
everything over there connected to America is like, oh, they would not use that.
Yeah, let's just walk slow.
Still, I manage a weak wave.
Bye, Aspen. Happy birthday again.
Thank you again. Good night to you both.
Aww.
See you two tomorrow.
Bye bye. Aspen trudges off, but Juliet somehow seems unfazed.
Shall we be off?
Taking a deep breath, I steel myself for the long walk home.
Yeah, let's go.
The afternoon of Aspen's departure, she's unusually quiet. They use a mix of metric and imperial units. Why a mix though? Why not keep to one? Although she shows up to breakfast like normal, she barely says a word throughout the whole meal other than things like yes please and no thanks. From the way she keeps checking her phone and messing with her face and clothes, I can tell something must be on her mind. Like, at least stick to one of them. Isn't it gonna be way too confusing otherwise? I figure she's just antsy about her trip, so I don't bring it up or try to talk to her. Instead, Julian and I mostly chat until we're done eating and the dishes are cleaned up. The moment we're finished, Aspen perks up a little bit.
Miho, are you ready to go to the bus station?
Yeah. This way, you have as much time as possible to get back.
Only with height. We use metric for height, but imperial for everything else. Interesting. I don't know. I've only ever used metric for anything and everything, so It's only like when I'm speaking English that I would use some of the other terms like walking for miles when I do not use miles or have any concept of how much a mile actually is. All I know is that a mile is more than a kilometer because like walking a kilometer is not that bad, but walking a mile is apparently like way more already. Just with Mio and Aspen along in pet form. Oh yeah. I mean, we don't know. We don't know what Aspen's parents are like. We only know that she doesn't get along too well with her mom, apparently.
Precisely. Thank you.
Of course.
Before departing, Juliet approaches Aspen and gives her a hug. From the outside, I realized that hugs look kinda weird. People have come up with the strangest ways to show they care about each other.
Safe travels, Aspen. Let us know when you get there.
Will do. I won't have reception while traveling, but I'll send a message as
Karen
soon
sounds
as
like
I'm
an
home.
Aspen. Oh.
How long is your
I have to
trip?
admit, I've never heard the name Aspen before this game.
If it was by car, only a couple hours. It'll be closer to 4 by bus, though. I'll take an early one on the way back tomorrow, just to be safe.
Ample reading time, it sounds like.
Oh, yes.
Oh, she can read during bus rides? Lucky. I get motion sickness when I'm in cars or buses and try to read. She drums her fingers on a book tucked into her bag.
Patricia and I have a lot of catching up to do.
Your life is surrounded by Rohits and Rahul. Oh, I probably pronounced those wrong as well. Hello, good evening! Motion sickness sucks. It does. There was a time in my life where it was so bad, like even if I was in a passenger seat, like when I was smaller, before I could drive a car myself, where I couldn't even read like street signs without getting sick. Now that I drive a car myself, like when I'm driving myself, it's fine. A pretty good pronunciation. It's like when I'm in the passenger seat again now, it's like I will help you find where you need to go, but also I can only read like 3 signs and then we're done. Thank you. Which sucks because like on longer bus rides or whatever, it's like I'd love to read a book. Like what else am I supposed to be doing with my, I don't know, 5 hours traveling time? But although she's still fidgety, it seems like Aspen's remembered how to speak. After spending an unusually long amount of time adjusting her skirt and hair, she finally faces me brightly.
Well, shall we be off?
You got seasick? Oh, me too. I haven't been on many boats in many years, but the few times I have, I get sick as well. Oh, not that bad though. Ooh, fever.
Yep.
I don't think I've been on a boat long enough to actually develop a fever or anything.
Goodbye, Aspen. Good night, Miho.
Good night!
Bye.
Later.
Aspen holds the front door open for me as we exit the library.
Where exactly is the bus station?
Not too far from my apartment. We'll pass it by on the way there.
Should we stop by and say hi to the cats? I'm sure they'd love to see me.
They're going to be angry enough at me for leaving for a day.
Oh,
I'm not sure I want to traumatize them right before I go.
I mean, should we take care of your cats so they're not alone?
Dang it. I've never gotten along with cats.
They can probably smell like your fogs.
Have you known many?
Only a few. Some of the strays have some really good stories to tell.
The two of us walk along in silence for a little bit before Aspen pokes me on the shoulder. I've gotten more used to physical contact like that, but it still surprises me every time.
What's it like talking to an animal anyway? How do you do it?
I'm not sure. It was just something that I knew how to do. Like making a den. A lot of the time, you can just feel what they mean without saying it. I don't know how to put it.
It's the only thing you can do in a bus. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've taken to actually listen to music on my bus rides home again as well. Luckily enough, from work I have a pretty short bus ride home. But it's way nicer to just have my own music blasting in my ears without having to listen to all of the conversations around me, or like the snippets of conversations around you that you will overhear.
No, that makes sense. There are some things that you just can't put into words, as much as you'd like to.
I've actually found out that I can fit almost like around one podcast episode, depending on the podcast, on my drive home. So I'm actually trying to get back into those as well. Because then my problem with podcasts is always like if I'm not doing anything else at all, like if I'm not reading along a script or something, my mind will wander too much, and then I will go through the entire podcast and not remember a single thing they said in there. And that's so sad because there's great stories. Can't put it into words you aren't trying enough. You gotta more.
Exactly. I have the problem a lot. I'll bet you.
That's no matter can be spotty. Oh, and what if you download stuff? So you can like listen to it without having to use data?
You'd lose that bet quite handily. Why? I'd say I struggle to put things into words more than anything.
Oh, really?
Really? How? I thought you loved writing.
Talking and writing are two different things though. Because in writing you can go back and forth all the time until you have the sentence you want.
I do, usually, but it's not that simple. Sometimes you just can't use any old words. You have to use the right ones.
You got like all of the words. Yeah, but you have to use the right ones.
And often that means going through lots and lots of the wrong ones until you find them.
I think it's easier the way animals do it.
It certainly sounds like it. I often wonder if I could talk to Percy and Byron, what they would have to say.
You named your cats Percy and Byron.
Maybe they just complain about me not feeding them enough or something.
Do you want me to ask them?
It's tempting, but no thanks. As long as I don't know for a fact that they're saying rude things, I can convince myself that they're not.
You died from 1 touch to another in Germany, you almost required to download. Yeah! Germany, where you can be on a train ride and not have data on the fucking... while you're on those stupid fucking tracks, because that's just how spotty the data coverage in Germany is. That's fun. They're very fun. I'm so glad I don't have to use a train often.
Rather like that other cat in the box.
I have heard of conflagration before, but I have no idea what the hell exsanguinate is. And I think that already says enough about the word, even without knowing what it means.
Cats like being in boxes, so they probably wouldn't be
I'm
complaining.
gonna actually go out of my way to Google it now though, because what the fuck exsanguinate? Oh, it's a medical word, huh? Death caused by loss of blood. Ooh, okay. Wild. What the fuck is a... conflagration. Right through to flooding. Conflagration. Oh, okay. Right, I learned a new thing today.
Not quite what I meant, but I'll take it.
For a bit, Aspen hums quietly to herself while we walk. I don't know if she knows that I can hear her. Even though she's being more chatty, there's still something that seems a little off about Aspen. I can't quite place my finger on what it is, though. At one point, she checks her phone and starts to walk a little bit quicker.
Are you looking forward to going home?
If she has to think about it, that kind of answers my question.
I am, yes. But like I said, I prefer to only do so for a day or two at a time.
'Cause of your parents?
A little. They're not really that bad, though. Mum's a worrywart and Dad isn't, so Mum feels like she needs to worry enough for both of them.
Ah.
It's not too bad over the phone. but when I'm there, Mum always tries to convince me to stay and move back.
Mum.
So I tell them they should move out here instead. And Mum goes into why they can't, and it's just...
You think of mums
tiresome.
anytime someone says mum. Because the pronunciation is similar, maybe. Mum.
Sounds like she cares about you a lot.
She does. And I love her too, don't get me wrong. It's more the town than them. Or rather, the lack thereof.
Ah, they're out in the boonies.
What do you mean?
They live in the middle of nowhere.
I feel that.
Mum loves it out in the countryside and says she can't live without her backyard view and half a kilometre from the nearest neighbours.
I mean, there's some kind of... It really depends on what you live like. I could not... Like, I would like not having any neighbors for kilometers. But on the other hand, if you're that far out, you just won't have a connection to literally anywhere. So you need your own car, you need this, you need to probably drive really far to even go shopping. And you probably have very, very bad internet, if even.
I, on the other hand, can't live without bookstores and coffee shops and high-speed internet.
Oh yeah, bookstores. Oh.
So that's why you moved to Wellington?
That's why I moved to Wellington. It seemed like a necessity to make it as an author.
I tried to put together the things she's been telling me into one big picture.
Can you only find the right words here?
Exactly. At least, that's what I thought before I came. Turns out that moving to a new city won't magically make you a better writer. Or even a writer at all.
I mean, yeah, that's obvious, kind of.
Back when I was in school, I used to daydream about what life in the big city must be like. Busy and important things happening during the day, and then nights full of excitement and sparkling wonder. Instead, it's the Bell House, and a tiny apartment the size of my living room back home.
Oh.
I thought if I put myself in this new environment, then I'd grow into the type of person who belonged there. I learned the hard way that places don't change who we are. Still, better to be struggling to make it in the city than doing nothing out in the boonies, I tell myself.
I think it sounds pretty nice. Peace and quiet, nothing to have to worry about.
Ugh, not you too. That's exactly what my mum says. Trust me, it sounds better hearing about it than living it. Just like Wellington. Or any city, I'd imagine. I'm sure even Wellington must seem like a bore compared to some of the places you've been to. Like Shanghai or Seoul.
I mean, she wasn't there to have fun, though. She just...
Well, yeah. I still like it, though. Those cities are too big for me. They're noisy and loud and smell bad and
Yeah,
anything can
exactly.
be dangerous. You have to be on your guard all the time. It's not like that here. The scariest thing I've seen was a movie.
That's true. I'm glad. I'm glad you liked it enough to stay.
Me too.
We're well into the city, pretty far past Cuba Street and the Bell House. Now that I've been there once, I also recognized the Papa, the museum, when we passed by it. But now there isn't much I don't recognize. I've been all over this part of Wellington enough that I could probably get from here to Mount Victoria with my eyes closed. I memorized other cities the same way when I lived there, but for the most part, once I left, I forgot all about them. I'm not sure I'd ever be able to forget the streets of Wellington, though, even if I wanted to. Instead of humming, Aspen started fidgeting again as we walked, messing with her phone and purse and hat and glasses. I recognized the shops and apartment buildings from the walk to Aspen's house, so we can't be very far from the station.
Are you nervous?
Me?
No!
No. Why would I be?
Yeah, you sound like the most not nervous person alive.
Do I seem nervous?
No.
Yeah. Is it because of the bus? You don't have to worry about that. I've ridden on them lots of times and they only broke down like once.
No, it's not that.
It isn't?
I mean, no, I'm not nervous.
Okay.
I've never seen Aspen more nervous, but I still don't push it. I can hear and smell the bus station before I see it, and then it comes into view. There are 2 or 3 buses parked or passing through. I wonder if one of them is Aspen's. We stop across the street and she checks her phone again, then puts it away.
You're not late, are you? Oh, I could have walked faster.
Yeah, I really hope the parents are not, like, badgering her with anything. Hi, Barry, good evening!
No, we're right on time. It'll be here any minute now.
Wow, what's the problem then?
I'll wait with you till it arrives.
I start to cross the road, but stop when I notice Aspen isn't following. Instead, she's still standing on the sidewalk, gripping the strap on her back tightly.
Aspen?
I trot back to her, looking around to see if I'm missing something, but there's nothing other than a couple people waiting far away at the station.
Are you alright?
Aww. She blinks a couple times and takes a deep, deep breath before facing me. Hope your evening has been going well. It has. How are you doing? Where's my text box? Okay.
Miho, I have to tell you something.
Okay. The effect of her words is immediate. Like she cast a spell, my heart starts to race. Whatever she's going to say must be why she was acting so weird all afternoon. Is it something bad? Is she not going to come back after all?
Yeah?
I barely managed to croak out an answer. I can't handle more heartbreak so soon.
It's something that I've been thinking about telling you for a long time.
Ayo?
But it was one of those things where I wasn't sure how.
Mm-hmm.
Or when. Because I didn't know how you'd take it.
Mm-hmm. What could it even be? We just saw Juliet, so it can't be anything to do with her. Lena?
But then, after we all talked the other night, I realized that I should just say it anyway.
She's going to confess to Miss before the bus is not here yet, so...
Because no matter what,
Uh-huh.
I know I would regret it more later if I didn't.
Okay.
Who knows how many more chances I might get?
Okay.
So I thought about it. A lot. What the right words were.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't prepare.
Hmm.
I'm just saying this
Mm-hmm.
somehow. And hoping. God, I'm actually saying this, aren't I?
The grip on her hat shifts, clutching it so tightly her knuckles are turning white. I feel frozen in place, not sure what to do or say. All I can do is stare, my heart feeling like it's going to explode out of my chest while she looks down at the ground. Whispering something to herself, she wrings her head in her hands before... Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I have hiccups again. Before finally looking back at me. No, I think she's going to do it now. Because she's gonna... Like, if this is actually a confession. Because then she's gonna give Miho some time to figure out her answer.
There's something I want you to know.
Yes.
Miho, I used to think that there was no way someone like you could exist.
Okay.
Someone who looks at the world like you do. And is honest about what you see. The good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, someone who doesn't realize just how much she has to offer.
Just saying! Get on with it!
Just how much she makes you make people happy. But here you are. Maybe meeting you used up all my luck for the rest of my life. But here you are. And I love you. And I just couldn't keep not telling you that. In case maybe you love me too. I couldn't keep just hoping and wondering and not knowing. And now that I've said it, it feels so good to have out there.
Yeah?
I love you, Miho. I love you. At first, I wasn't sure because everything seemed too perfect and unreal. I thought that I was just letting myself get carried away like I always do. A silly little daydream, but...
Also, yeah.
It makes me feel silly how much already, when I think of how utterly stupid it always sounded to me when reading about love at first sight. But how could it be anything else? I don't believe in coincidence, Miho. My life was changed the moment I saw you. I just didn't know it yet. Now I do. Now we both do. I love you, Miho. It's out there, and I can't take it back.
Aww. Our words drift away into the air as we look at each other in silence. My head is TV static, buzzing with nothing to show. Not because it's empty, but because there's too much for me to process. Aspen, in love with me? Wind whips past my face as a bus rolls by, pulling into the station. I barely notice it, barely able to notice anything. Aspen is in love with me? I don't know what to say. But Aspen raises a finger to her lips.
Don't tell me.
Huh?
I said it now before I leave for a reason. Because I thought you might say that tomorrow. Whatever it is you feel, I'll hear it then.
I see. I look at her face for some guide on how to respond, but she just gives a smile. A weak, fragile smile. Left dumbfounded, I nod. Aspen is in love with me! Returning her head to her head, Aspen sighs like she just finished a hard day's work.
Well, that's it. All I have to say, I suppose. As if that wasn't one of the most important things I've ever said in my life.
Yeah, we'll be pulling your hair all night. You're not gonna send us on a field trip and make me late and Aspen forget. No! No. Shh. Why would you speak those words out loud? I hadn't even thought of that. Shh.
That's my bus. So, I'll see you tomorrow, Miho. And no matter what, it's okay. If we just carry on being friends like normal, I'm fine with that. More than fine. I'm just glad that I took the chance to tell you.
Ah, fuck. I thought she would maybe say something else so I could quickly clean my glasses, but I can't fucking see the text now. Give me a minute. There's very little things in life where I wish I could change. Like something about myself, but eyesight would be great. There we go. You have pizza waiting for you, so you have to tell me when you get back. Okay! Enjoy your pizza! For how nervous she was a few minutes ago, she does seem a lot calmer now. Explains her fidgeting the entire time. I may as well be a statue as Aspen starts to walk past me, but then she pauses.
May I give you a goodbye hug?
Not much I can respond to, at least.
Yeah.
We wrap our arms around each other, that weird human custom. Everything may have just changed, but she's still the same Aspen she was when we left the library. I try to listen for what she might be saying without words as she squeezes me tight. Finally, she steps away with a smile. It might be the most genuine one I've ever seen on her face.
Bye, Miho.
Bye, Aspen.
Bye.
What the heck? Wait, but this is still... I'm sorry, but this is still the main route. So what you're telling me is that this is gonna happen also on the Juliet route, like when we try and date Juliet. Ooh. We're not even properly on Aspen's route yet, and I'm already preparing for heartbreak. God damn. I make my way back to the library like a zombie, my feet moving without really thinking about it. Aspen's words keep replaying over and over in my head. I get them, but I can't make sense of them. Mijo in Spanish means son. Dios mío. But that's a different word entirely. You want to be happy. Yeah. There's not a sound to be heard from the empty aisles when I enter, Juliet having finished tidying up in the hour or so that's passed since I left. After a quick glance around, I head towards the stairs. When I head up to the second floor, I spot a sliver of light from underneath Juliet's bedroom door. I knock, and it opens just a moment later. Juliet greets me with a calm smile at first, but the corners of her mouth falter as she looks at my face. I don't quite know what expression I'm making right now. I don't know what I'm even feeling to begin with. Mia has a preference with hugs and pats.
Miho?
Well,
Did
pats she
something
liked.
happen?
As a fox, at least. Not sure how she feels about it in her human form.
Aspen said she's in love with me.
Oh, I see.
Juliet's not the type to be shocked easily. That's why I wanted to see her for advice, but she's even less surprised than I thought she would be. I don't think Juliet would confess right now while we're telling her this about Aspen.
Give me just a moment, and I'll meet you in my study.
I nod and head over there, opening the door. As I walk into the darkness, I'm met by several pairs of eyes. Oh, the bats! Just as startled as I am, several bats begin to flap their wings and noisily take flight, chittering overhead before most of them leave out the open window. The biggest one watches me for a bit longer before departing as well. Thank you for the pet and the hydrate time. By the time Juliet enters the study and turns on the lamp, it's just me and her.
Sorry I scared off all your bats.
It's fine. Don't worry. I'll be back before too long.
We settle down into the same seats as last time, with Juliet behind her desk and me across from it.
So, Aspen.
So!
Yeah. Aspen.
I wonder what Aspen's thinking right now. Has I had as much of a mess as mine? Probably, knowing her.
We had just gotten to the bus station when she stopped and said it. She said she waited until just before she left, so she didn't have to hear my feelings until tomorrow, when she gets home.
And what are your feelings?
Confusion.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't ever thought about love or someone being in love with me. I don't even really know what it means. I know the word, but how does it feel? How would I know? The other day, you talked about how much you loved Cosette, and how you didn't know much about love before then. This is a different love from then, right?
She thinks to herself for a while, carefully considering her answer. I'm glad she does. At least one of us can stand back and think over this properly.
Yes and no. Of course, the bond between a parent and their child is different than that of two partners, but it comes from the same part of the heart. The part that you give away to somebody else. Love is when you care about another person so much that the feeling becomes bigger than you. When your life is more full and joyful for the presence of that person in it. I could throw out any number of cliches, but they'd be meaningless. What love means and how it feels are different for every person. To speak from my own experiences, love is like a flower. It starts as something tiny, but as it's nurtured and cared for, it grows.
Oh, that's sweet.
It reaches toward the sunlight and towards something better and blooms into something beautiful. Not all flowers grow at the same rate, and not all flowers look the same. But wouldn't you agree that that's the joy of flowers, Miho?
I look up from the floor towards Juliet, who's watching me warmly.
I like flowers, but I've never grown one before.
The same can be said for everyone at some point. But as long as you're willing to give it the time and patience that it deserves, Even the tiniest seed can become something wonderful.
Juliet must see the confusion on my face because she touches my hand gently.
You should take some time to yourself, Miho. We can talk about it later tonight, if you're ready. If you needed even more time, I'm sure Aspen will understand.
Yeah. I need to think about it. And sorry for waking you up. Or keeping you up. Whichever.
It's no trouble at all. I'm glad that you felt comfortable coming to me about this.
It was the first thing I did. Thanks, by the way. You've helped me out a lot.
Of course. It's my pleasure. It's what friends are for.
Aww. Juliet returns to bed and I go back to my room as well. I sit down on the floor, which is where I've done a lot of my best thinking lately. I lean against my bed and turn on the TV. There's sure a lot of shows and movies about love, aren't there? It's difficult to imagine that concept applying to me. I do know that I care about Aspen a lot. I like being around her, I like talking to her, I look forward to seeing her when she's not there. We're friends, but could we be more than that? I spend a few hours stewing in my thoughts and not coming to any conclusions. Love feels like something that couldn't and shouldn't apply to me, and yet, here I am. Hours pass as I consider the issue from every different angle. I end up with more questions than answers. Is it something I want? Is it something I could even do? What I choose to say to Aspen doesn't just affect me, but it affects her too. No matter what, both of our lives are about to change. And no matter what, I have to make a decision. I'm sure that I'll have some doubts either way, but I can't just ignore or run away from this. So, after turning it over and over in my mind, I finally make a choice. Slowly, I stand up and head downstairs. My legs feel like jelly as they carry me towards another huge moment. My hands shake, but I hold on tightly to the banister as I head down to the kitchen where Juliet's making tea. There's a second mug set on the table full of steaming hot chocolate.
Right on time, like always. I was just about to call for you.
Late night hot chocolate.
I heard you get up a little while ago. I was still doing some thinking, though.
I see. So I take it that means you've made up your mind about Aspen, then?
Yeah. It wasn't easy, but I have.
Matters of the heart are rarely easy. Shall we sit?
Yeah.
We take our usual seats, the third one conspicuously empty. I take a big gulp of hot chocolate while Julia takes a small sip of tea. Wiping my mouth with the back of my hand, I lean back in my chair, take a deep breath and nod.
I've decided.
Ah! This is the one. This is the one that brings us to the different routes. So, that's gonna go on this save here. That's my big save. Everyone, please help me remember that this one, the big one in the second row, it's a big save. We're gonna try things with Aspen.
I want to try things with Aspen.
Woo!
I know it'll be hard, but I want to try.
I feel more sure of the words as I say them. Something about this decision feels right. I do want to try. Like Aspen said yesterday, it's out there now and I can't take it back.
I know she's a human, and so someday it'll hurt. But I can't just always run away from things that are painful. Because if it hurts, that means it was important, doesn't it?
It certainly does. That's a wise way to think about it.
I know I don't know much about love, or how to be in love with someone. But I'm willing to learn, and try.
As I speak, I feel something stir in my heart. The feeling of excitement that's pushed me forward so many times before it kept me motivated in my lifelong search. Is that the feeling that could grow? I've always struggled to put a name to it. Could it be?
Trying is all anyone could ask of you, Aspen or otherwise. All you have to do is be yourself. That's who Aspen fell in love with, after all. I can't tell you how happy I am, for both of you.
As it begins to sink in, I feel a grin spreading across my face. Aspen's in love with me, and I think that maybe, just maybe, I could be in love with her too.
thanks. I wish she was here, so I could tell her right now. Tomorrow seems so far away.
I'm certain she's thinking the same thing. Still, it is rather like her to say something so momentous and then disappear. It took quite a while for her to work up the courage to tell you.
With a wink, Juliet lifts her teacup.
I wouldn't be surprised if she borrowed the idea from some book or another.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. And wait, you knew she was gonna tell me?
Not exactly. I've known for a long time that she held feelings for you. She never told me outright, but Aspen isn't particularly subtle.
She really isn't.
I never noticed. But I guess I don't know what I would have been looking for either.
All that's important is that she was able to tell you how she
Good
felt.
evening!
And you were able to accept those
How you
feelings.
doing?
Anything along the way was but a means to the same end.
Juliet's right. Not just about Aspen, but about my life in general, as she herself pointed out not that long ago. I thought it had all been for nothing, pointless ever since Jongin died without my knowing it, as if I'd reached a dead end myself. But that was just the end of a chapter in my life, not the whole story, as Aspen would say. I thought my life as I knew it was ending, and maybe that was true. On the other hand, I feel like a new life for myself is just beginning, one that isn't so solitary and lonesome. Nearly every day I discover something new about myself, things I used to think were impossible, at least for someone like me. Maybe I'm not so different after all. I found a new place to belong, and someone new to share my life with as much of it as I can. Aspen, who's seen just as many different sides of me as I have of her, and who still chose to tell me she loved me, even though she'd never told anyone that before. I can't wait for her to get back so we can find out what's next together. If this was a horror thing, or, a not so feel-good thing, Aspen would probably get in a fucking bus accident and tragically die before she reaches home again. You're eating a root beer float. Wait, isn't that it? Wouldn't a root beer float be a thing you drink? Or am I imagining the wrong thing? Nothing more to really say about it until Aspen returns. Juliet and I move on to talking about other things, like the library and recent events. I feel pleasantly warm, like I'm glowing, as we sit there and chat. The sensation carries me through the rest of the evening and all the way to bed, where I lie for hours. Usually I'm frustrated when the chaos of my own thoughts stops me from falling asleep, but for the first time ever, excitement rather than fear is what keeps me awake. Instead of just waiting for the day to end, I close my eyes, looking forward to the dawn of tomorrow. You can both eat or drink a root beer float since there's ice cream and root beer in it. Oh, I see. Ah, okay. Right, the ice cream. Okay, yeah, my bad. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Oh, a friend of mine already had her first ice cream from oh god, I have no idea what those places are actually called in English. Where you can get ice cream. I think one of those close to me is also open. Maybe I'm gonna get some on the weekend. It was so nice and warm out today. I really wish it's gonna stay that way. For once, my struggle to fall asleep worked out in my favor. I sleep until later than usual the next morning, meaning I don't have to wait so long for Aspen's bus to arrive. I've barely even woken up and I'm already thinking about her. Looking up at the ceiling, I can't help but smile. I wonder if she's thinking about me too. I'm too full of nervous energy to stay in bed for too long, so I hop up and get ready in a hurry. In the kitchen, I figured Juliet must have already eaten, cleaned up and gone to bed because I don't see any dishes or leftover food. To my surprise, she comes downstairs just a minute after I do.
Good morning.
Hi!
Hey! I didn't wake you up, did I?
No, not at all. Although I was upstairs, I thought I'd wait and have breakfast with you like usual.
Aw!
Oh, thanks. Sorry for keeping you waiting. I kind of fell asleep late, so I slept in too.
Understandable. I'm sure you have lots on your mind.
You can say that again.
I take my seat at the table while Juliet pokes through the fridge.
Are you hungry for anything in particular?
Not really. Maybe maybe something light? I don't think I can finish a big meal right now.
Chuckling, Juliet retrieves a couple pieces of fruit and some cheese. Cheese!
Butterflies in your tummy?
Nah, I haven't eaten anything. I'm just nervous.
I ate an entire roll of camembert that I bought on the weekend because it was on sale. It was not as good as the camembert I usually get, which is kind of disappointing because I was really looking forward to having that, but I still ate it because otherwise it would have been a waste of money.
I'm sure I would be too, in your position. Although, Aspen did the difficult task of taking the first step. You have the luxury of being the one to respond.
That's true.
Aspen is probably gonna be way more anxious about it because she just does know the answer. Meanwhile, Mia's already like, yeah, I feel the same as her. Oh, I'm gonna see her. And I'm like, you haven't told her yet. Aspen is not gonna be as happy because she's gonna be a mess until she finds out. Juliet sets a platter with slices of apples and oranges as well as a few blocks of cheese on a table between us, and I idly munch at some fruit.
Do you want to come wait at the station with me? I'm leaving after we're done eating.
I'll pass, but thank you. The two of you will have plenty to talk about on your own, I'm sure. But I imagine I'll see you both later tonight?
Definitely.
The minutes pass by agonizingly slowly, especially after Juliet goes to bed, but eventually it's late enough for me to leave. I burst up out of my seat, forcing myself not to walk too fast. As long as I'm walking, I'm doing something. If I get there too early, I have to wait, and I hate waiting. Humming to myself, I follow the same route Aspen and I took yesterday. If I wanted to, I probably could have found a faster way, or even a longer way to kill more time. It's not worth the risk of getting lost, though. The closer I get to the station, the faster my heart races. The growing anticipation, the way I can't think about anything else, it reminds me of something. Something I haven't experienced in ages. It reminds me of days in the forest towards the end of my time as a regular fox. The way I felt on the way to the clearing every day to see my person. Back then it was different, of course. More instinct, less thinking, but it still pushed me forward. That was love, wasn't it? In my own way, just like Juliet said. Usually something like that would stop me in my tracks, but today it just makes me smile. My good mood carries me the rest of the way to the bus station. I pause at the intersection where we stood yesterday, when Aspen said everything. This spot will be special to me forever, I already know. Oh fuck yeah! There's one spot at the fucking bus station. Great! I hurry across to the other side. There are a handful of other people waiting, standing or leaning against the fence. I sit down on one of the empty benches, practically buzzing with anticipation. I watch the clock as it continues to tick away until finally the scheduled minute comes and there's no bus. I sigh, disappointed but not too surprised, since when are buses are ever exactly on time anyway? Soon the bus is a couple minutes late, and then 5 minutes, and it gets harder and harder not to worry.
Good thing she left early.
I notice that I'm not alone. Some of the other people waiting are beginning to get agitated too. One person stands on the edge of the sidewalk peering in either direction. A couple others who have been waiting in the boarding zone since I got here sit down on one of the benches near me and pull out their phones. One of them taps a few times, reads something, and then groans.
Told you. Delayed. Says it right.
Ah.
Guess I owe you a tenner. It say how long?
Nope. Just says delayed due to vehicle issues.
Oh, fuck. Dread seizes me. With a shaky hand, I tap one of the travelers on the shoulder.
Excuse me. Which bus is it that's delayed?
Ah, there be Route 4. You waiting for
I
it?
don't
too?
fucking know which route it is!
My friend's on it. I don't know which, but she was supposed to be here 10 minutes ago.
Oh no.
Aye. Well, probably the same one then. Bad luck, but it does happen every now and then. I hope you weren't in a hurry.
Oh no, I mean, she might forget all about me because she hasn't seen me in close to 24 hours, but hey, no big deal, right?
I was, actually. Do you know what they'll do? What'll happen to the people on the bus?
But also, as a German person who's used to the Deutsche Bahn fucking up repeatedly. 10-minute delay? Oh no! Wow. Like, that's the usual. That's usually what our trains are like all the time. Like if you have a good day, you get a train that's maybe 50 minutes off. You once had a 45-minute delay from the train. I mean, yeah, I feel that. I think the worst delay I've ever had on a train. What's the worst? I think the worst one I've ever had while I was traveling on my own. 3 hours. 3 hours delay. Like initially. Or more like I got there and then it said, oh, delayed for like half an hour. I'm like, already like, what? Half an hour? Okay, good thing I'm because I had a connecting train. But like half an hour, that still works. And that half hour was over and they added another half hour. I'm like, okay, now I'm cutting it kind of close. And then they just straight up added another 2 hours. I'm like, okay, yeah, well, I'm not getting home tonight. Or am I? And then I had to, get a different train. It was very interesting. How old was I then? Like maybe 14, 15. I was at a friend's at the other end of Germany. And I had to get back home. So what ended up happening is I called my mom because that was during a time when I didn't have mobile data for myself yet. So I called my mom and was like, yeah, train's not coming. What do? I only have this one train ticket. So I don't know what she did. She booked a new train ticket for a different train. And then I woke up the parents of the friends I was staying at. So they would drive me to a different stop so I could get on a train there. And that train was so filled I couldn't sit. And I had a 5-hour train ride home. At least this one was almost like entirely just like this one was only split in two. So like I had to get on the first train where the one who looks at your ticket was like, this is not the ticket for your train. I'm like, yeah, well, I couldn't catch the other one because the train before that didn't arrive. And he was like, oh, okay, well, but you have to get out at the next station. I'm like, okay, damn, that's the station I had to leave anyway. So I did that. And then I got on a different train there. And then the one who checked my ticket there, she was way nicer. I explained the exact same thing to her as well. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you can get back home safely. But that was a ride. Like, especially if you don't have a place to sit and you just have to sit on the ground somewhere. And then people obviously have to pass by you. Cannot recommend. School bus bursting a tire in summer. Oh God. The German public transport. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for the pasta tag and diary time. But yeah, I think those 3 hours were the worst that ever happened to me while I was traveling on my own. I mean, granted, when I went to Austria sometime last year on the way back, we actually also had a delay of like half an hour because they had the police check the entire train because we passed the country's borders because of the entire situation with the Ukraine. I don't know, they had some special stuff going on where they had to check every single person. They would check your passport and everything. We're like, oh my God, I'm not catching my next train, am I? And I in fact did not. We arrived like 5 minutes after the one I was supposed to get with a 20-minute break. Like where I could have easily gotten the other one. We arrived 5 minutes after the one had left and the next one would only be coming an hour later. Then I thought to myself, oh, you know what? They have a nice bookstore here at this station at least. I'll just check out the bookstore. I have an hour now anyway. Who cares, right? They're in the middle of rebuilding the bookstore. So I, in fact, could not spend the hour in the bookstore. I wouldn't even have minded, usually, but I had work the next day. And I ended up coming home at like 9 p.m. finally after catching that next train. And then that one, like, we got on it and it started driving. And we're like, yes, just give me like half an hour more and I'll be home. Or at least at the train station in the city I live. And then I only had to take another bus. Train stops. The middle of fucking nowhere. We get the conductor going, oh, I'm sorry, we're stopped. For reasons I can't actually explain to you either, I do not know when we'll continue. We're like, are you fucking for real? Please. Why are we stopped? And I was seated next to a family of 7. And every single child in that family had a phone. That's another thing entirely. I do not mind. Children sure can have phones, but please, if you are going to buy every single one of your children, no matter how old they actually are, a phone, give them some headphones as well, so I don't have to listen to 4 different TikToks at the same time. And one of the children watching the little education show where they start to learn German and how to sing. It's like, please. I'm begging. But yeah, that was an interesting train ride home. Yeah, I managed to get back safely. I just don't like, traveling alone at late hours. Like it's dark out and everything already. I do not want to be outside on my own at 9 p.m. at night. I think that's understandable. Oh, you want the Pikachu? Okay. Pikachu. Pikachu.
Well, I imagine the city will have to send someone out, figure out what's wrong.
You're not traveling alone either, then yeah, no.
I'm sure your friend will get here one way or another, but it could be hours. You might want to give them a call and find out where they are. Might be quicker for them to find their own ride home.
I rolled off the bench before he's even finished speaking, dashing back the way I came.
Good luck.
Aw, I barely hear him. Of all the buses to break down, of all the days for it to happen. As I run, I can't help but think about how unfair it is. For anyone else in the world, a couple-hour bus delay would be annoying, but that's it. But for me and Aspen, I don't even want to think about what it would be like if she forgot me. After getting back to the library in record time, I practically crashed through the doors as I head upstairs. For the second day in a row, I knock on Juliet's bedroom door before having to bend over to catch my breath. It's been ages since I've run that long and it shows. Juliet answers the door quickly.
Miho? What's wrong?
Aspen's bus still isn't here. Someone at the station said one of them broke down on the way. What if it was hers?
Wordlessly, Juliet hurries to retrieve her phone. It looks weirdly out of place in her hands as she navigates through several screens, slower than Aspen would. Her face turns grim after only reading for a moment.
It seems you're right.
Confirmation just tightens the knot in my chest, and I just barely managed to croak out a question.
What do we do?
How long do you have left?
2 hours. A little less.
She shouldn't be too far away. I'll try calling her.
It doesn't even ring and instead goes straight to a voicemail. I look up at Juliet helplessly, trying to ignore the panic that'll overrun me if I let it.
She did say that she'd have poor reception en route. Here, Miho. Keep trying. I'll be back in a moment.
Do you have a car? She hands me the phone and shows me how to use it before hurrying into her bedroom. I hit the button again, staring at the small contact photo of Aspen that Juliet has saved. It's a picture of Aspen at the breakfast table, smiling awkwardly. Her voicemail message starts again, so I cancel and try it again and again and again, but it's the same result every time. I end the call and start another one for what must be the 6th or 7th time.
Juliet, is that...
My thumb is on the end button out of habit, and I barely manage to stop myself from pressing it.
Aspen!
There's a loud burst of static.
Oh? You?
Aspen! It's me! Where are you?
Julia comes back out when she hears me, waiting anxiously by my side. Aspen says something again, but it's garbled by the connection.
What? I can't hear you.
Fucking reception. Let me.
She swore! You couldn't hear it all the way, but she swore. Everything goes quiet for a terrible moment. I'm afraid that the call is dropped.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Instead, I nearly dropped the phone when her voice comes through again, much clearer this time.
Good. I can't move from this spot then. It's the only place I have service.
Where are you?
God, we're so close. I can literally see the city in the distance. Something's wrong with the bus. I don't know what. They said there's another one coming to pick us up, but I'm not sure when it's supposed to be here.
We only have 2 hours before.
I know. Trust me, I know. I was hoping the replacement would be here sooner, but that's not going to happen.
Aspen, you said you're close. Do you know where exactly?
I don't, no, but there's just the one road into the city, and I can see it. That's what I'll do, actually. I'll start walking towards the city, and hopefully I'll see the other bus on the way.
Will that work?
I don't think you should be walking on streets that are only made for cars.
I don't know. I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh god. Julie and I look at each other. I wonder if she has the same thought I do.
Okay. I'm coming too.
What?
Don't either of you have a car? I know Miho doesn't have a car, but Juliet, do you not have a car?
Wherever you are. You said it's just one road, right? I'll meet you on it.
You'll... Okay. I understand.
I'll be there on time. I promise.
From the other end of the line comes the very clear sound of Aspen sniffling.
Okay. I'll see you soon. As soon as I start walking, I'll probably lose reception again.
Oh god, oh, she's... Oh no, she's crying!
Okay. Okay, I'm on my way.
The line clicks dead and I try to hand Juliet her phone back, but she shakes her head.
Hold on to it. You can bring it back to me after you find her.
I nod. There's no time to talk about anything else.
How do I get there?
Juliet pulls up a map and shows me, pointing out where the library
I was
is.
going to try to find a taxi. Between traffic and everything else, I'm not sure it would be faster. It's so far away though, Miho. Are you sure you'll be alright?
I mean, she could transform into a fox.
I will. I have
She would
to
probably be faster running as a fox. I immediately make for the stairs, pausing for just a second.
Thanks.
Thank me later. Together.
I nod and then I transform as I bolt out the front door. Foxes can't run as long as humans can, but they can run faster. As I go me home, maybe I can do both. Wind whips at my tails as I rush forward. At my tails? Plural? I have to take a proper look at her actual fox picture sometime later. As I rush forward, channeling whatever willpower and determination I can into running. 9 tails fox? No, she doesn't have 9 tails. That's why I mean, I know Gumiho's have several tails, but now I'm confused. I have not looked at Miho's fox sprite as properly as I should have. The map Julia gave me showed which roads to take to get out of the city, but I don't need roads. I run straight for the edge of town, dodging traffic, pedestrians, and more. Dogs bark as I race through the yards, and shocked people gape as I dash past them without paying any attention. I don't even know how long I run for, I just know that I don't stop. Even when my legs and chest start to ache, I keep going. A little pain now is nothing compared to what losing Aspen would be like. The buildings begin to thin out even as traffic increases, and finally I find myself out of Wellington. Following the road, I race towards where Aspen must be. Cars and trees fly by, replacing the buildings and street signs. The hills and forests that I'm sure is as beautiful as everything else I've seen, but I hardly notice them at all. The longer I run, the more it starts to take its toll on me. Against my will, I can feel my speed flagging, each step taking just a little more effort than the last. I've pushed this form to its absolute limit, and eventually it brings me to a halt. Where she put the phone? If she put the phone into her clothes, I guess it's a magic that makes it work, because everything everything that like transforms with her clothes seems to be just there. I change forms once again, gasping for air as I place my hands on my knees, trying to catch my breath. The run from the station back to the library winded me, and this was many times harder. But I can't stop moving. I have to keep going. I have to. Lungs on fire and with my legs feeling like lead, I make myself lead. I make myself take another step and then another. Mustering all my strength, I break into a jog the fastest I can manage. I keep my gaze set on the horizon, hoping for a glimpse of her. Anything to set my heart and mind at ease. Anything. The sun begins to dip even lower, as if even the sky is reminding me that time is running out. My steps are leaden. Oh, I hate the English language. And my mind abuzz with wordless fear and worry. At first I don't believe my eyes when I finally spot someone walking in my direction far off in the distance. Please let it be her. Steady trot is all I can do by now, and I let even that slow to a normal walking pace. The other figure and I walk toward each other, but the sun shines in my face and obscures them from vision. Raising one hand to shield my eyes, I see a familiar hat, the glint of light on familiar glasses. I see Aspen running towards me. All I can do is stand there, overwhelmed with relief so intense that all I can do is shake. Gumiho apparently also nine-tailed. English is such a great language. Hey chat, does Aspen remember us? Her bus broke down and we're currently literally running into each other. She's just... So let's see. I made it. She's here.
Miho!
Oh, she does! Ooh. As she approaches, she also slows and then comes to a stop.
Miho!
Hi! I don't even know what to say. How can I respond? How can I put all the excitement, the worry, and the relief that she's made me feel in the past 24 hours into words? How do I say it? Silently, I close the distance between us. I can see her eyes searching mine, looking for an answer to the unspoken question. Overhead, the sun dips behind a cloud, done watching us for the day, and throwing a handful of colors into the sky as it leaves. I struggled to find words before, but this is different. Like Aspen said yesterday, not just any words will do. I stopped just an arm's length from Aspen, close enough to see the glint of tears hiding in her eyes.
I was so worried.
Me too! Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can't hear anything else. Looking up into her eyes, I'm surprised to find the answer to my own question. One that I didn't know I wanted to ask until just now. One that requires more than words, or maybe less. Oh! I take a last step that separates us and lean forward to kiss Aspen. The marks of human affection have always seemed so strange and foreign to me, and maybe even unappealing. As I kiss her, I think I understand. Okay, I will! Without hesitation, Aspen's hand rises to touch my face, holding me in place, as if I'd want to leave. She moves like she was waiting for this. Maybe she was. It's unlike anything I've ever felt before. The closeness, the warmth. I place my own hand against her wrist. I think maybe I understand Aspen's fears better now, because I would also be content if this moment lasted forever. Okay, hold on. Even when we separate, Aspen's hands stay on my shoulder, keeping me close.
I see you thought about what I said.
We do stand a good kissing, yes! Oh, yes! This is everything I've ever wanted.
And practically nothing else.
Pulling me into a hug, Aspen rests her face against mine.
So I wasn't the only one then.
She sighs contentedly.
There's so much more I want to say, but this is hardly the place to say it now, is it?
I'd nearly forgotten where we were, not far from the side of the road. Turning around, I look back at the city, which is starting to light up for the evening.
Oh, right. It's kind of a long way home, you know.
Aspen squeezes my hand.
I have all the time in the world.
Oh, baby! Open ending, chapter 4. Da, 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 da. My vulnerable person. That was usually the climax to what just happened. Where do we go from here? We go to people actually being together, which is something very little romance stories seem to touch upon, and I am having a déjà vu. Why? Which reminds me actually of a Yuri manga that I'm not up to date with anymore, because I keep forgetting to order more of the books. But that one is, oh my god, what's it called? Fuck. It's about the two main characters are in college. One of them has known the entire time that she likes girls. The other one, not so much. They start dating. And the moment I stopped reading it, I know that doesn't really like make the pool of manga, it could be smaller. But I stopped reading because they broke up in between. And then like at the end, the author's note for that specific volume was like, usually the romance mangas go like until people start dating and then they're over. But I wanted to show how relationships could evolve after they actually get together. I'm like, you just made them break up. What do you mean? Huh? And I have not actually gotten back to reading more of it. But it's gorgeous. It's a very, very good manga. Now, if only I could remember its name, that would be even better. But because I have like 100 ongoing things that I'm reading that I do not remember what it's called. Hold on. I'm gonna find it. I swear to God. I mean, maybe it's over. Maybe it's finished now. Could also be. Could even be over and I just don't have all of the volume. Nope. Why do I have so much stuff? Jesus Christ. Nope. It's really good though. They're also in a band together. I'm not finding it. They're just together, all the suspense and drama kind of goes away. We'll see. I wouldn't say that. College band. You want all of those screenshots? I'll give you those screenshots if you want. Some everyone think you was prison school. I would not. No, I don't think I would count that one. There it is. In English, it's called How Do We Relationship by Tammy Full. Tammy Full, How Do We Relationship. It has a completely different name in German again. Yep, there it is. Viz Media is apparently. Bringing it in English. It's really good. I should get back up. You love that manga, huh? My paws carry me across wet leaves and mud. Fog has crept into the forest as stealthily as me. Glimpses of the sky are rare between the trees and the mist. The wild mountains and hills are hidden as well, out of sight but not mind. Just ask for every screenshot. I don't have that many screenshots for this game yet. I don't think so. I have 11 screenshots of this game, and one half of them is just the screenshots of Miho saying something I think is funny, and the other are the like artworks because I do usually take screenshots of those. It is. There's a digital art book for this game as well, if you were so inclined. I run, filled by a sense of purpose. It lightens my steps and pulls me in the right direction. I'm going to see someone I care about very much, and who cares about me. Somehow we found each other. My person. The path to follow is engraved in my body and mind, almost instinctual. A warm smile, a gentle touch, a kind word. These are the things that draw me forward. I slow down as I get closer to my destination and to the silhouette waiting for me. It's impossibly bright as I approach, my heart pounding in anticipation like the sun has descended to greet my person too. It matches the feeling in my chest, warming my soul and fur. So bright that when my person turns around, stooping low to greet me, light is all I can see. But I don't need to see, only hear. That voice that I could never forget.
Little fox.
Where is your home?
That was a mix. Buying the special release on Kickstarter, you don't have a credit card. Does Kickstarter only take credit card? I have not supported stuff on Kickstarter in such a long time. I wake with a yawn head on my pillow as the dream fades away. What if Mio's person was an ancestor of Aspen? Or maybe they don't have anything to do with each other at all. That would also be okay, I think. It's been a long time since I've dreamt about the forest. It used to happen a lot, especially when my travels first took me out of Korea, but over time they stopped. Ironi's paper with his project in Germany, and yours as well. Oh, that sucks. I do have a credit card, so I always forget. Like to check if there's other things available to pay with. The dreams are always the same. I'm somewhere in the woods running to the clearing where I'd meet Jung-in. There, they'd greet me in the same familiar way. Something was different about it this time though. Yeah, Aspen's voice came in at the end. Of course, the first thing on my mind after my dream is Aspen. I have a feeling that's how most of my mornings are gonna start from now on. My lips tingle as I recall our kiss yesterday. My first kiss ever, the first of many, I promised Aspen. What is that? Yeah, that is a pajama, mijo. Super cute. Although the stressful part was over, the rest of the day was equally exhausting. By the time we got back to Aspen's bus to get her stuff, the replacement bus finally showed up and took us back to the city. From there, we dropped off Aspen's things at her apartment before going back to the library to give Juliet the good news. My legs felt like they were going to fall off, and both Aspen and I agreed to get some rest. You could have dropped Aspen off at her home and just written Juliet like a text message. Back in the city, you should have some connection again. Even the anticipation of seeing her today couldn't keep me up, and I feel well rested and excited. But as I roll into my bag, I start to notice something weird. It's like an itch, but in my mind. Something irritating and out of reach, and out of me? It takes me a moment, but I realize that it's my beat. I know it the same way that I knew how to run and hunt and dig. Tugging at the baubles around my neck, there's an obvious change. Of all the beads on my necklace, only one is special. Most are just pretty things I collected and stuck on there. Only one has been there with me from the moment I became a gumiho, became me. Since then, it stayed exactly the same, no matter amount of times I throw a drop or lose it, the necklace comes back to me with the bead unharmed. Not a single scratch or chip or blemish. Until today. Instead of the normal pale white, it started to shine. It's barely brighter than usual, but I notice in an instant. In fact, it's almost as if... Uh-oh. How many times, yeah. It's not a translation issue, it's just something they forgot in the script, since this game is originally English. I hold my necklace up to be sure.
It's glowing.
It's glowing. Just barely, but it is. I rub my thumb over the familiar surface, but it doesn't feel any different on the outside. Actually, seeing necklaces like this always makes me feel apprehensive. And I blame that on a specific Barbie movie, because I always feel like, especially here with Miho now, and the fact that she can transform ever since she got the bead and was turned into a gumiho, became a gumiho. I don't actually know. We don't know yet how that exactly works, or if it's ever gonna be explained. But because of that specific Barbie movie and funny little pearl necklaces that glow and make you able to transform, I'm like, what if it doesn't work at some point anymore? I don't like that. Didn't she cover the bead from the necklace? Yeah, it was with her suddenly. Yes. I'm not sure what it means, but it has to be related to yesterday. There's no other way I could pick up today of all days to change. Maybe Aspen was onto something when she said there's no such thing as coincidence. Either way, it's magic, and magic I can't control. My bead has always been a part of me, but it's something I can only partially understand, and in that wordless animal way I described to Aspen. When the time comes, whatever it is that's coming, I just have to trust that I'll know what to do. Was with her suddenly sounds much better than she moved it. I wonder why. Right now it doesn't matter, because something much more important is going to happen, and sooner Aspen will be here. She's probably here already, so I need to get ready. Going through my quick morning routine, I feel more energized than ever. But once I'm not nervous, just excited. As soon as I open my bedroom door, I can hear the familiar murmur of conversation in the kitchen. Even the short walk downstairs is enough time to let my heart race. I assume Juliet's in the kitchen when I get there, but I only have eyes for Aspen. She looks over from her seat at the table, and the instant she sees me, her face lights up. It nearly stops me in my tracks. I've seen Aspen smile 1,000 times by now, but never like this. Never for me and me alone. I can't help but do the same. Aww.
Good morning, Mia.
Spider-Man ended up probably at some point in the movies. Oh? I'm sorry. I've seen 4 Spider-Man movies. One of the older ones, the one with the green lizard antagonist, and then the first one of the like modern ones with what's his name, Tom something, and then the third one. I've not seen the one in the middle where they went to Europe, but just the one that's set after some time, where you have to watch like all of the other Marvel movies. And I've seen Into the Spider-Verse. And I've seen Tom Cruise. Has Tom Cruise ever been a Spider-Man? I don't think so. It makes you smile constantly. Your face hurts. Good evening. How you doing?
Morning.
It's our usual greeting, but it feels brand new. I wonder if all the little things will.
Did you sleep well?
Tom Holland. Right, the modern Spider-Man. The guy who keeps spoiling stuff for movies he acts in. Thank you for the follow. Hope you enjoy your stay.
Like a rock.
Oh, don't yawn. Fuck, damn it. That one's on me. I pull my chair closer to Aspen's than usual as I take my seat and fill my plate.
We were just talking about how tired you must be. I would have been surprised if you slept until the afternoon.
No way. Then I wouldn't get to see you at breakfast.
Flustered Aspen doesn't seem to know how to respond. Now that I know the feelings she was hiding, a lot of the other times where that's happened make way more sense. I giggle as she looks torn between being pleased and embarrassed.
That would be quite a shame.
Yes. Oh, she's so cute.
But understandable after you ran across half of Wellington yesterday.
Same.
Was it really?
Invested.
Didn't feel like it. But maybe that's why I'm so hungry.
The anticipation got you before anything happened. Yeah, it's like the tone of her voice was so close to it. I was thinking, oh, she's gonna yawn any second now. I need to...
Feel free to help yourself to what's
Stop.
left. Aspen and I have already eaten.
We wanted to wait, but...
It's fine. I don't mind.
Around now is usually when Aspen would start to leave for work, but it's Juliet who stands up first. Maybe that's why I'm so hungry. Much better.
Would either of you mind if I retire a bit early today?
Nope. Aspen and I can clean up.
God,
right?
they're so cute. I'm going to grab them by the neck, like you would grab a small kitten. And grab them and smoosh their faces together.
Oh, yes, right. That... I mean, not at all.
I'll wish you both good night then.
It's Julia. It's just like, oh, you're flirting at my breakfast table.
Bye.
We both watch as Julia departs before turning to face each other. As soon as our eyes meet, Aspen looks away again, blushing but laughing.
What is it? What's funny?
Yeah.
Nothing's funny. It's just... It's hard to believe. I mean, us. You and me.
I wonder how different that one's gonna be.
I can't imagine how many times I've sat at this table wishing we were like
I'm
this.
not gonna think about it until it's
Together.
actually gonna be there, though.
Oh.
I feel like I would be doing a disservice to Aspen. The warm fuzzy feeling from before takes over my face. The one that goes with the realization of how special I am to her. How out of everyone in the world, I'm the one she feels this way about.
And now...
Here we are.
Yes, here we are.
Everything is the same, but everything's different now too. It's just as confusing as it is exciting. Now that I'm here alone with her, I'm not sure how to act. Aspen fiddling with a ribbon seems like she's waiting for me to go first. Problem is, I'm not sure what to say. I'm not sure how I should talk to her differently now, or if I even should, or anything really. With just the two of us, I'm suddenly super aware of how out of depth I am. But I can't let that silence stretch on too long. I have to say something.
So hey! I think...
No. Both of us start and stop talking at the same time. I pause, waiting for her to keep going. And she does the same thing for me. We both laugh together a moment later, and somehow that breaks the ice. It feels like a reassurance before I can even ask for one.
You go. No, you first.
Yeah! If that's what it takes!
I was going to say that, you know, I don't really know much about this whole dating thing. So if there's...
Aspen shakes her head and puts a finger to my lips to shush me.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Miho. It's all so new to me as well.
She moves her hand, looking at it as if she just now realized what she did. Not that I mind.
So, perhaps we can figure it out together.
Together.
I tried the word for myself. Aspen and me, together.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, they're so cute.
We can both just do what feels
My heart hurts.
I like the sound of that too.
Aspen's sleeve rustles as she takes my hand, her fingers gently intertwining with mine. It's cool to the touch.
That feels right.
The soft actions make me feel braver.
So does this.
Oh! I lean forward and kiss her just for a moment, because a moment may as well be an hour. I'm not sure it'd ever be enough.
I'd say we're off to a good start.
Me too.
Just being near each other already feels more meaningful and exciting. Since this is just the beginning, I can't wait to see where things go from here. Of course, I'll have to wait a little bit longer. With her free hand, Aspen checks her phone and I see her frown in response.
Time to go?
Unfortunately.
She stands up and I stand with her, still linked by our hands. It feels almost unfair that daily life, with all its obligations, still matters right now. Aspen hasn't even left yet, but I'm already waiting for her to come back.
I wish I could stay here with you longer though.
Me too. Maybe I'll just come buy a bunch of drinks at the Bell House, so I can talk to you at the counter.
Or maybe we'll get you a phone so you can start texting once you learn how to read more. Or you send her a bunch of voicemails over the entire day, so she can check those on her break at work.
Perfect. I can tell my boss I was just engaging with the customers. Like she wants us to.
Yeah, and if you start flirting with the customers, then that's just good service, right? Both of us laugh again, and Aspen steps forward to lay her head on my shoulder. I lean my head against hers, surprised by how soft her hair is against my cheek.
I really will be thinking of you all day. Counting down the hours.
Oh my god.
Same. I couldn't think about anything else.
Oh, you're so disgustingly in love, Jesus Christ. Normally I think twice about saying something so embarrassing, but it actually feels pretty good. We walk together to the front door, taking as long as possible.
See you soon.
Let me just kiss one of the customers. Perfect engagement, yeah!
Not soon enough.
Woo. I stand in the doorway as Aspen slowly walks backwards, holding onto my hand until the very end. She looks into my eyes.
I love you, Miho.
Oh! Woo. The tips of her fingers linger against mine, and where they touch it feels electric. I think of the sprouting that Juliet used to describe love and the way it grows. Maybe that word means different things to Aspen and me right now, but I know without a doubt that I want to learn all of them. I want to take a chance with her. I want to try.
I love you too.
And I mean it! We stay like that for just a little longer, not needing to say anything else. Then finally, Aspen turns around and begins to walk down the hill, taking my hand with her. Oh, I'm gonna cough up blood! I want what they have! Me and who? Jesus Christ. They're so cute. Just like Aspen, I end up counting down the hours until a shift will be over. Too impatient to make it to the end, I leave early and reach the bell house around the time that they'll be closing for the night. It's not dark out yet, but even from a distance, the inside of the bell house looks warm and inviting. As I pass by the front window on my way to the door, I spot Aspen, who doesn't notice me. She's helping one of her coworkers stack the chairs up on the tables, and when they finish with that, she goes to organize the sweetener section. While she's doing that, a different coworker comes over and shows her 2 different loaves of bread, and she thinks for a moment before pointing at one. In the time it takes to get the staff to complete a task, Aspen finishes 3, even with people coming up to ask her questions too. Of course, I have no idea what they're talking about, but even from here on the outside of the store, I can see why they want her to run the new bell house. Leaning against the wall of the cafe, I wait. Most of Aspen's co-workers leave before she does, and it's several minutes before she finally walks out the door at a brisk pace, going right past me.
Aspen!
Spinning around, she quickly goes from surprise to smiling.
Miho! I was just thinking about you. Although that's been true all day.
I got tired of waiting for you at the library, so I decided to come down here so I could see you even sooner.
Yeah! That earns me a hug and a kiss on her cheek.
I love you. Have I mentioned that?
Once or twice, but I don't think I'll get tired of hearing it.
Yeah!
Good, because I don't get tired of saying it.
Aspen links her arm with mine, snuggling against my shoulder. Normally when someone gets so close to me or touches me, my first instinct is to jump away, but not with Aspen. Oh, they're so disgusting! This is positive. I'm meaning this in the most positive way I can say, but oh my god! You guys are gonna ignore everything. You only have eyes for each other. It's only the first day, but I've surprised myself with just how much I'm enjoying being Aspen's girlfriend. If she hadn't told me her feelings, I probably never would have realized my own. Everyone needs an Aspen in their lives, for real. For real, for real. But once I opened myself up to the idea, I realized that almost all of my favorite memories are with Aspen. When I'm with her, I just have fun. Being around her cheers me up, even if I was in a good mood to begin with. I wonder if it's the same for her. I hope so, since just being myself has always seemed to make her laugh and smile. I never would have imagined that I'd be able to do that to someone. That they could feel that way about me, or that I could feel it too. I've never been so glad to be wrong.
So, what do you want to do now?
Well, I need to go home to change and take care of the cats. Would you like to come over?
Yes!
I can make us dinner later too, if you haven't eaten yet.
Sure! Even if I had, I'd make room for that.
It's settled then, shall we?
Yes, sir. Arm in arm, Aspen proudly leads the way to her apartment. Woo-hoo-hoo. The moment she starts to unlock the door, the sounds of meowing and scratching claws from the other side start up.
They're excited to see you too, huh?
Excited to be fed, more like. Scooch, boys.
The cats run around underfoot as Aspen steps inside, with me following behind. As soon as they notice me, the meowing stops and they both scurry away.
Aw, how rude.
You'd better get used to Miho, you two. You're going to be seeing her around a lot more.
Aspen puts her hands on her hips and talks sternly to the sulking cats. They both meow in frustrated response until Aspen sighs.
Yes, yes, now let's get you fed.
She grabs a jug of cat food from on top of the fridge, the rattling sound making the cats brave enough to run past me and go harass Aspen some more.
Go ahead and make yourself at home, Miho.
Thank you.
I'm going to take care of them and then freshen up, so I'll be a minute.
Okay, take your time.
I sit down on the edge of Aspen's bed, doing my best to not disrupt the neatly made sheets. Aspen sets the bowls of cat food on the floor near the door, and the cats position themselves so they can watch me while they eat. Rolling her eyes, Aspen steps over them towards the restroom.
So dramatic. I wonder who they get that from. Anyway, be right back.
Yeah, I wonder. It isn't long before the sound of the running shower starts. I look around the apartment, paying closer attention than last time I was here. Because it's so small, it feels like there's something of Aspen's personality in every corner. From the glittering lights strung across the ceiling to the stuffed animals on the bed behind me. I recognize some of the books on the shelves and desks from the library. Oh, these are fairy lights. Oh, I don't know since when it's been a thing. But these are not limited to Christmas. Christmas lights would be ones that can, like, at least in my experience, Christmas lights are ones that can change color or like blink in a specific sense. Fairy lights are just like small ones with a warm glow to them. They don't usually blink or anything. They're pretty cute. I'm sure there's a story behind each and every decoration. I'll probably hear more than a few of them eventually. After the cats finish eating, they skulk into the room and sit down across from me, glaring. I wonder if something about my ears and tail makes them mad.
Guess what?
I transform it. Oh yeah, she does have several tails. Jesus Christ, how did I not, like, recognize that? Perspective on the notebook is bugging you. Psst, psst, listen. I deliberately didn't say anything. Because every time I point out something that's in the background or an art piece, it's like, why did you say that? Now I can see it as well. I did not say anything for once. So why would you? I transform into a fox right in front of them, spreading my tails out like a fan. I don't growl or anything, but I lock eyes with each cat in turn. Immediately, they both yowl and run for the bed, tripping over each other as they rush to hide, fur puffing out like clouds. I cackle to myself as I change back and sit down again. Cats are always fun to tease, so some opportunities are just too good to pass up. Before long, Aspen comes out looking refreshed. She surveys the room just like I did.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I guess there's not a whole lot to do here, is there?
I had some fun with your cats.
It's fine. Wasn't that long. I was just being nosy and admiring all your stuff.
Be as nosy as you'd like. I'm going to start on dinner.
Ooh.
Okay. Let me know if you need any help.
Thanks, but just the company is enough. It won't be anything
Moth
very
cat
fancy.
plushie
I'm much
is
better
super
at making
cute,
drinks
yeah.
than food.
I wonder if the moth cat plushie, and I'm assuming it's a squirrel of some kind, or hamster, behind it. Or maybe... Because some kind of thingy to be like, okay, yeah, this is like Aspen's animal motif thingy. Because, I mean, that thing has glasses, round glasses just like her, and has her color scheme. I'm unsure though if the moth thingy could be Juliet. But I would argue that Aspen could be squirrel, hamster, whatever. Someone will mention these things. You're also guilty. At least we all suffered together. I wasn't at fault this time. Nerd hamster. Yeah, it's cute though. So cute.
Not really. We have bakers who come in earlier than I do to prepare most of it. I just have to heat things up and serve them. Unlike our beverages, which I make from scratch.
Ooh.
Speaking of which, would you like some coffee or hot cocoa? I'll be making some for myself.
I would like some hot cocoa.
Sure. I'll have whatever you have.
That's easy enough. Now let's see.
Aspen moves around the tiny cooking area. Calling it a kitchen would be a stretch. The same kind of graceful confidence that I've seen her use when working at the Bell House. I guess some of the tasks are the same. She starts to fill a pitcher with water from the sink while scooping coffee grounds into the machine at the same time. When the pitcher's ready, she swaps it out with another pot, this one for cooking. That fills up while she finishes getting the coffee set up and brewing. Then she starts pulling ingredients out from the few cabinets that line the cooking area.
What are you gonna make?
I'm not really sure what it's called. It's a dish Mum used to make. It was one of the first things I learned how to cook, because it's always reminded me of home. And it's easy to make. Is there anything like that for you? A meal that tastes like home?
Nah, not really. Julie asked me that before too. I don't know if I ever had a full meal while I was in Korea, since I just stole what I needed to survive.
That's easy enough, dude.
Oh, right. I should have remembered that you...
I like that as the song that's playing very often during Aspen scenes is called The Girl Reading Us. It's a very cool name. The one parent meal is full of feelings already. I mean, these two are, I'm assuming, for, you know, lack of more different, how do you say this? They haven't labeled themselves, but I would like to say lesbians. So of course they start dating. And immediately, like, lesbians only go 0 or 100. Like, first is like, oh, do you think she also likes me? Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, I can't confess my feelings. I have and then suddenly next week they're married. They've moved in. And they're married. Thank you for the braid reading. They do go from 0 to 100, right? Like, I've only ever seen them go from 0 to 100. It's like first they dance around each other and because they're both unsure. Like, everyone involved is unsure. And then suddenly it's like, hey, you want to come to the wedding next week? Like, what? Oh, we moved in yesterday. Huh? Like, moved in with each other. Aspen bites her lip, looking unsure of how to phrase whatever she was going to say.
Live like that? It's fine. I don't mind talking about it. Especially not with you.
If you're sure, I don't want to bring up anything that's difficult for you to talk about.
Don't worry. You won't. There's nothing like that, honestly. Most of it just blurred together over time, so be as nosy as you want.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
The pound of ingredients Aspen stacks up has pasta, a few different kinds of vegetables, and a few different cans.
Would you mind giving me a hand, actually? Do you think you could chop up these vegetables for me?
Met 1 hour getting married, hour 2 having 1 kid over 3.
Sure! Just show me how.
Aspen demonstrates how to hold the knife, and then, covering my hand with hers, guides me through the motion to cut the veggies.
Don't worry too much about making them all the same size. Close enough is fine.
That's good. Because I think same size might be impossible.
In the time it takes me to chop up a couple zucchini and onions, Aspen takes care of everything else.
Are these ready?
As they'll ever be.
I pass the cutting board to Aspen, being careful not to spill. In the end, most of the chunks didn't even turn out the same shape, much less size, but Aspen tosses them into a hot pan anyway, and before long a delicious aroma fills the room.
That smells amazing.
Hopefully it'll taste good too.
I don't have any doubts myself, but I don't think Aspen will be satisfied until the dish is done, since she seems focused on watching the sauteing veggies and boiling pasta. I don't talk, so I don't distract her. A few minutes later, Aspen combines everything into one pan, mixing it all together with a wooden spoon. She dishes out a couple spoonfuls onto a pair of plastic plates and hands me one, along with a fork.
Well, bon appetit. I wish there was a table we could sit at. I usually just eat at my desk. You can have that spot, and I'll take the bed.
I usually do the same, but my desk is actually connected to the bed, so it's like I'm eating at my desk and my bed at the same time, so...
That's fine.
When I have people over, I'm always like, I do have a proper table, but like, for my, it's one of those you can like make small, and I do not bother to open that one when I'm on my own.
The floor?
I would just be way too tempted to leave stuff on there, and then it's one more place where I just put stuff on.
Yeah, it's where
instead
I
of
watch TV on my room
putting it
too.
away properly, so.
I'll join you then.
Ooh! Floor time! We both settle down on the ground, setting our plates in our laps. Noticing something, Aspen leans to the side.
Percy? Byron? What are you two doing back there?
They're being scared. I lean over to peek under the bed too. 4 angry green eyes stare at me from the farthest, darkest corner. Feigning innocence, I sit back up.
Huh. Wonder what their problem is.
Huh!
I guess they're just not used to having company. It's been a long time since they've met anyone aside from you and Juliet.
That must be it.
Yeah. Do not terrorize your girlfriend cats, please. I don't mention that I might have something to do with it too, but hey, the cat started it. Grabbing my fork, I turn my attention back to dinner. I try to make sure to get a little bit of everything in my first bite. It's still hot off the stove, so I have to blow on it to cool it off. Aspen watches anxiously while I chew, waiting to start eating her own meal.
Well, how is it?
Whoa. This?
No, I need to find a better way to describe it than usual.
It's delicious.
Really? Oh, I'm glad you think so.
Really.
The food itself is good, but it tastes even better knowing that Aspen made it. I scarf down my whole plate and then get up for seconds. After cleaning my plate the second time, I finally set it aside along with my fork.
Did you have enough?
Hehe.
Still more if you want.
Hehe.
I'm good. Thanks, though. That was seriously great. Thanks for making it.
Hehehe.
I'm just happy to hear you enjoyed it. It's been ages since I've cooked for anyone.
I think
other
she
than
would look great
myself.
with those ears. I'm almost sad she's only a normal human.
It's one of the best meals I've ever had.
That just means you need to have more good meals. There are lots of restaurants here in Welly that I've wanted to try, but didn't want to go alone. Maybe we can visit some of those together.
Yes.
Sure. I'm not sure if I'd like any of them as much as this, though.
Laughing, Aspen puts her plate aside and scoots closer to me, laying her head on my shoulder again. Her hand finds mine on the floor and she loosely wraps her fingers around mine.
I keep thinking I'm getting used to you flattering me, but I still love it every time.
It's true. I'm just saying what I think.
I know. That's one of the things I love about you. One of many, many things. I've never felt anything but ordinary, as much as I'd like to, and as much as I'd like to pretend I wasn't. But you really do make me feel otherwise. I'm so happy I met you, Miho. I hope you don't get tired of hearing that.
Never.
Never.
This game looks so pretty. It is. Hi, Sagi. How you doing? Even though things have changed so much, the morning routine is more or less the same. The three of us chit-chat about our lives and mundane things until we finish eating. You good? I'm glad to hear it. I'm also good. We started our first route in this game, actually, and now we're dating. We're dating the blonde one, the girl in the middle, so I'm feeling extremely good. After pushing her empty plate away, Aspen leans in. Where is my cursor?
So, Miho, there's something I've been thinking about.
Okay.
And I understand if this is something you wouldn't even want to consider.
And thank you for the help time.
But have you ever thought about finding a way to stop your magic?
Huh? Juliet also turns to look at me, putting me on the spot.
Not that I can remember. That's like asking if you've thought about finding a way to stop your nose from working.
Oh, the whole, you know, people forget about her if they don't see her again. After 24 hours have passed, I was like, why would she stop being able to transform?
I see. I thought that might be the case.
I'm not sure if I've ever heard of such a thing either. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I was just thinking about the other day and about how dreadful it all was to go through. Of course, I don't want to speak for Miho. I know it's much more complicated than just that.
We realize a struggling single mother with child is really trying to set on the right track of life. Oh, yeah. I don't think it's quite about that. I'm still scared of the inevitable heartbreak that this game is probably gonna give us at some point anyway, though, even though they're happy now and dating.
But I thought I might bring up the idea, at least.
You've got a
The
point.
game better not.
Not having to worry about people forgetting me would be a huge relief.
Right, I thought you might agree.
I look at Juliet expecting her to give an opinion, but she doesn't offer one. It's true that life would be a lot easier without my magic. Well, half true. This life would be easier, but the life I used to lead, I couldn't have survived without it.
Well, it's purely hypothetical right now anyway. For all we know, it might be impossible. So no need to think about it too much.
It's worth thinking about, though.
The only two people who actually remember me in this room right now, all the other people I've met here in Valley, I couldn't really call them my friends as much as I've liked spending time with them. Every time we see each other, it's the first time as far as they're concerned. Maybe that wasn't so bad when I was still on the fence about whether I'd even stay in town or not. But now that I've been here a while, long enough to build something worth missing, I wish I could make those connections into something more secure. Even if there's nothing I can do about my magic, I can at least try to figure out a way to maintain friendships with others too, not just Aspen and Juliet.
It couldn't hurt to find out, right? It's not like I have to go through with it or anything if I don't want to.
You changed your Discord avatar to me, oh? Did you? Yeah!
Exactly. Simply being informed is never a bad idea.
She's so cute.
So, does that mean you have an idea?
Well, not quite. But I'd be happy to start doing some research on the topic. If we're going to find anything, it's likely to be in a book. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's reading.
Good luck with that. Let me know what I can do to help.
I'd be glad to lend a hand as well. Perhaps I could find someone who'd be knowledgeable about Gumiho. Myth and folklore are often at odds with reality, so it can be difficult to discern what's true and what isn't.
Someone who'd know about Gumiho.
I mean, we know one other person who definitely knows about Gumihos, but I don't think she's gonna be very happy. And we don't know how to actually reach her. If you look up Aspen on the UD wiki, I have again a stat set to 10. Same with Juliet. I don't think I've ever been on that wiki. One person comes to mind, but I'm not sure how willing she'd be to help. I still haven't mentioned the other Gumiho I met to Aspen and Juliet. In my head, I've started calling her Silver. Just feels wrong somehow. If someone had told other people when I was around, I would have been furious with them. Would have made hiding and stealing a whole lot harder too. So as a fellow Gumiho, I've kept Silver's existence a secret from everyone else so far. For all I know, there could be more than just Silver. There could be a whole community of Gumiho here in Wellington and I have no idea. I don't think that's the case though. Besides, Silver seems unhappy enough with one intruder on her territory as it is. Maybe that's something else I can ask her. I don't know when or where, but somehow I know I haven't seen the last of her. For now, I just sit back and listen as Aspen and Juliet discuss various books and theories to start with. I feel like I should be more involved. It's my magic after all, but this is one area where I can't really contribute. I can't stay out of it forever and let them take care of me again though. I have to try something on my own too. I can't just refuse to participate in my own future. As it gets closer to the time for Aspen to leave, Juliet checks the clock and then stands up.
Off to bed?
Not yet, actually. Would you mind staying just a moment longer, Aspen? I have something I'd like to give Miho. It's somewhat related to what we were just talking about.
Oh, no, I don't mind.
For me? What is it?
You'll see. I'll be right back.
Disappearing upstairs, I hear Juliet enter her study for a moment before returning with a small, nicely wrapped box.
There's no particular occasion, but still, I felt like wrapping it.
Juliet hands me the package, which I take carefully. It's not heavy, but it's not light either. I turn it over and over, examining. I've never had a gift before. Clearing her throat, Aspen seems a bit impatient.
Don't just keep us in suspense.
Okay, okay.
I tear up the paper that Juliet so beautifully wrapped the package with, revealing...
Oh. Wow.
It's a phone! One that I recognize.
It's the same as Aspen's.
What a coincidence, right?
Uh-huh.
I consulted Aspen to make sure I got the same one. I thought it would
Let's
be best if she
go!
could help show you how to use it. I'm a little behind the times with things like devices.
I could not tell. It's an old Nokia. As gently as I can, I open the box and take out the phone itself. It's sleek and shiny and cold to the touch. I hold it in both hands to make sure that I don't drop it.
Thank you. Really. This is the nicest thing I've ever owned.
Think nothing of it. As you have more loved ones and responsibilities,
Aww.
it's important that you be able to stay in touch. In fact, that was what gave me the idea in the first place. Like Aspen, I'd also been thinking about your magic and the ways that it might work. So I wonder, would seeing someone in a video call serve to refresh someone's memory of you? Or is it necessary to see each other in person?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, time to try it out.
I can't believe I never thought to ask that before.
Neither Aspen nor I would want to gamble our memories of Miho, in case it turns out not to work. So we need to find someone else to participate in our
Literally never leave each other. Living long enough to go through so many technological changes would be tiring, I think. Yeah, I feel like she would be like a boomer extraordinaire, but not even because she dislikes change, but just because she's been through so much. At some point, she's probably just given up.
With that in mind, I'm not sure who to ask. It's a harmless trial, but still a bit.
We could
much to
ask
of a total
what's her name?
stranger.
The bird girl.
Someone willing to try something weird without hesitation.
Yeah, Lena,
I'll
exactly.
text Lena.
While Aspen does that, I stare at the device in my hands. But something so small really solves so many of my problems. It wouldn't be a perfect solution, but it would be a lot better than nothing if this works. Even if not, I won't let that change my earlier decision to find some way to be remembered by the people I've met. Just like researching my magic, I can't leave everything to someone else or hope for an easy way out.
Alright, Lena says she's willing to give it a go. I told her I'd explain more when I saw her. Usually you'd think those would happen in the other order, but this is Lena we're talking about.
I mean, Lena's fun.
Miho, would you like to come down to the Bell House to see her with me now?
Sure. As long as Juliet doesn't mind me leaving the library.
By all means. I'm eager to see if this works as well.
So it's settled then. Shall we be off, Miho?
Oh boy. Lena's waiting for us outside the Bell House when we arrive.
Morning, boss!
Hey, Lena.
So, you're the person with the weird memory thing, right?
One day you're riding on a horse-drawn car down the street, and the next some dude in a Tesla is driving past you yelling something about organic gluten-free coffee. But what I really want to know, and I really hope they'll touch upon when you're on Juliet's route, is how she became a vampire. Because that one sentence is not leaving my mind. The one where she went and out and said, like, oh yeah, when I became a vampire. Like, she wasn't born a vampire. When did it happen and how and why? I remember we discovered how to make fire for the first time. She's not that old. Well, that would be,
Yep, that's me.
I've already introduced myself to Lena more times than I can count. Still, what's one more? This will be a great start to my new goal of making sure the other people I've gotten to know don't keep forgetting me.
I'm Miho. We've met before, actually. At tennis and at the Bell House and a few other times, too.
Okay, makes sense to me. So how do we do this?
Really? That's it?
What you mean?
I would have thought you'd take more convincing than that. I guess I'm not surprised, but...
Nah, it lines up. I remember doing all those things that Miho mentioned, but I couldn't think of who I was with. Now I can stop trying to remember that and devote that brain power to something else.
Great!
Well, I'm sure you'll need it. So, let's see.
I just need to get Miho's number, right? And then video call her tonight?
Right. Any time should be fine as long as it's before this time tomorrow.
Lena's
Miho
brain
will come with me
power?
again in the morning, and we'll see if you know who she is.
You got it! I'll try extra hard to remember her.
I'm not sure it works like that, unfortunately. I wish it would.
My brain power is as limited as it is.
Maybe it is, and you just didn't try hard enough.
Placing a finger on either temple, Lena closes her eyes and hums deeply.
Does that help?
Shh, she's concentrating.
Don't interrupt!
Lena hums for a little longer, then opens her eyes with a wink and a thumbs up.
Okay, got it!
I'm not sure that's how it works.
Of course it helps. It's my secret technique.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! If it works, then maybe you can teach Aspen too.
I think I'm all right, actually.
But what if it's
Oh, she
really
is adorable. I
useful?
love her. She's so much fun.
That's a very big if.
Oh, whatever. You'll see tomorrow when I remember all of this. Anyway, Miho, what's your number?
We haven't actually got started with the phone though, have we?
It's
I pull out the phone Julia gave me, inspecting it closely.
I'm not sure where it is.
Shouldn't it be written somewhere? I look around the edges, trying to find anything that seems fitting. No, that's not how phone number works, Miho.
Let's do this instead. Miho, may I see your phone?
I hand the device to Aspen, who swipes one finger up and begins to quickly tap to the screens.
Whoa, you're a pro at this. Juliet's a lot slower whenever she uses hers.
I feel like they should have given Juliet one of those senior phones, not a smartphone. No, they did not teach her because Aspen had to get to work and she was like, let's do this immediately. I'm like, shouldn't you set up the phone before that? Maybe? Hi TK, good evening. A flip phone. Julia types with one finger. Yeah, she's doing the one where she holds the phone in one hand and then with her other finger she like slowly taps every single letter one by one.
I'm not sure that Julia.
Like with her
understands
pointer
that
finger.
She still prefers a landline when she can. Okay, here. I saved Lena's number for you, Miho. Now you can call her so she can save your number.
Right. Okay, let's see.
Taking my phone back, I try to remember how to do that. Lena comes and watches from behind Aspen.
New phone?
Moving away, Aspen brushes imaginary dirt off her shoulder.
You're in my bubble.
Pop? That's the same kind Aspen has, right? Yup. This is the first phone I
New
own.
phone do this!
Wow, really? So then how do you check Triller or Space?
Space face!
What are those?
Stumbling backwards, Lena seems like she's at a loss for words, which might be a first for her. I guess she does have something in common with Aspen.
Wow, you really do have a lot of catching up to do. I'll help you get set up when I call you. It's like, you can't not have a Triller, even though it's terrible, I hate it, but you have to have it. Space, I don't know about. Everyone
Okay, I think that's enough, Lena.
Please do not try to teach someone who just got her first phone the intricacies of social media.
Oh, you never let me finish talking!
You never would finish talking if I didn't stop you.
That's not true!
For a second, Lena seems pretty serious, but then she thinks about it a second.
Well, maybe a little, but just a little. Anyway, it's fine. I'll tell Miho when I talk to her tonight. See you guys later!
Don't tell her what happens when Jalen asks for his
2 minutes.
Later, isn't it?
It went from bad to worse. But it's still the one social media site that I enjoy using the most. Granted, I've not been on many others. The only other one that I've used for many, many years was Tumblr before then. I do not use both of them at the same time anymore because it's just, I would see the same posts. Like, I would see the same artwork on Tumblr that I see on Twitter as well, because it's the algorithm has me figured out. It's the same stuff it keeps showing me. And I do not need to see both things at the same time. When I was actively using Tumblr back then, I had, you know, you could queue up posts, like whether it be your own posts or stuff you would like to reblock. Which is the same as retweeting, but it had a different name on Tumblr. You could put 300 posts in your queue and then set how many times a day you would want the queue to post, and from when to when. And I would have it set up from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Like the usual times I'm already on the computer. And then like 10 posts a day. And I would always have it at 300. Always. That's the maximum you could post. I would always have that queue just filled. Actually, I'm pretty glad that I, don't use Tumblr anymore, because I had this weird obsession with always posting stuff. And it was never stuff I did myself, just reblocks. So at least I don't do that anymore. She stopped talking out today, maybe. Tumblr's popularity really tumbled. Yeah, I mean, who was it that originally bought Tumblr some years back and they actually made a loss afterwards? Oh god. And now it's overrun. They blocked pretty much any and all NSFW content, but now it's overrun by porn bots anyway, so it's a shell of its former self on one end. But there's no single social media site out there that I really like that much. Like Twitter's just the most comfortable nowadays, but even that recently has been with Mr. Musk. Lena flaps her wings proudly as she walks into the Bell House.
You let her win, huh?
Aspen sighs.
Sometimes it's better to just let her go.
Besides that, you don't really use social media.
But I'm glad she said she'd help out. She's a mess, but she sticks to her word at least.
Well, I do like seeing updates for stuff, like when it comes to games and also just artwork and stuff. I do like Twitter for that reason, and talking to people.
You two seem pretty close.
Do we? We started working here at the same time, so we spent a lot of time together.
But everything else I don't use anymore.
You've spent more time with her outside the Bell House than I have, though. She can be a lot, but she comes through when it matters. Like with this.
I knew before messaging her that she'd be willing to help out. It's just how she is.
Don't you dare tell her I said that, though.
Stepping towards the Bell House door, Aspen turns to say goodbye to me.
Well, it's my least favorite time of the day. Time to say goodbye.
It's not too late to ditch work and hang out with me instead.
Believe me, it sounds more and more tempting each day.
That just means I have to keep trying. I should probably get back to the library too, though.
Yes, don't let me keep you. As much as I'd like to.
We come together for a quick kiss. I like this new routine of doing that every time we say goodbye.
I'll see you tomorrow then.
Of course. You know where to find me.
Good. I hope you have a wonderful day, Miho. I love you.
I love you too. Have a good day at work.
I'll do my best.
Pingy's just getting closer, just... Aspen walks inside and the bells over the door chime like they're happy to see her. I wait until the door fully closes behind her and she disappears from sight before I head out on my way. Aww. It's almost bedtime when my phone finally buzzes, startling me and almost making me drop my phone on my face. Lena's name pops up and I tap what I hope is the right button.
Hello? Miho? Can you hear me? It's Lena.
Hello! Her face fills the screen, making it pretty easy to see who it is. I wiggle the phone around, trying to make it point at my face. Problem is, it's reversed, so I keep confusing myself. How does Aspen use this thing so much?
Hi! I see you! Can you see me?
Yep. Hi.
She waves at the camera with a free hand. I have to sit up to do the same thing.
Thanks for calling. This is gonna be a big help.
No, yeah, no problem. Sorry I've forgotten you so many times. I know I'd be totally upset if people couldn't remember who I was. It's like, hello? How can you forget me?
Yeah, I feel like Lena is a very hard to forget person.
It's alright. I'm pretty used to it by now.
Yeah, but still, it's gotta suck. I've got an idea, though. I'll just call you like this every night, and that way I won't forget you, right? If this works out, I mean.
Yeah. If it works. I really hope it does. Still, every night...
Even if the phone makes it a lot easier, that's a lot of phone calls to make. Whatever. Funny how the word keeps getting in my way.
Yeah, it's no big deal, though. I mean, I'm always on my phone before I go to bed anyway, so I can just make calling you part of my routine, like brushing my teeth and...
You know what? Can you like use stuff like FaceTime with several people, like any video call? At some point, if this works, Miho would just have to make like one big group that's like Miho's Forget Me Not group or whatever, and then it's just a group call she sets up at one point, and she like just calls like 500 people all at once. It's like, dude, hi. Okay, thanks. Now you won't forget me. Bye. We're about to tell it once. Yeah, exactly. We'll get her a job. We'll just... What if they don't actually need to do it like in real time? What if they just like take a video of Miho and like show it on TV like every single day, like just... Everyone comes to associate, like, I don't know, 8:13 p.m. every night with Miho. Buy a Miho billboard, yeah!
Ever since I quit ballet, I have more free time, so I can fit it in. That way I won't forget to do it. That would be kind of funny if I did, though. Not like funny, but funny like ironic. I think that's how you use that word. Aspen always tells me I'm wrong, though.
Funny. Funny like ironic.
Actually, speaking of Aspen...
Lena goes on to tell me a story about work today, which turns into a story from work the day before. She goes on like that for a while. I try to smile and laugh when it seems appropriate, but my arm is starting to get sore from holding up my phone like this. Finally, she runs out of steam and yawns, switching into sleepy mode in seconds.
Anyway, I just thought that was funny. I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm super tired. You're coming to the Bell House in the morning, right?
Yup. I'll be there with Aspen.
Okay, see you soon then. I hope. Well, I'll see you either way. But I hope I remember you. Sorry if I don't.
It's a Daily Meal commercial. Oh, we want the Fox Girl. Yeah, I should come watch. I feel as if something's missing the next day. Yeah. That would be kind of dystopian, actually. The group call with like half the city would be funny.
That's fine.
As an idea. In
Thanks for
practice, that
fun.
would be horrifying.
Good night.
I tried to figure out how to hang up, my finger hovering over the screen like I'm about to squish a bug. Fortunately, Lena does it first, and that ends the call for both of us. I lie back down in bed with my phone in my hand. It isn't heavy, but it's definitely a big deal. If this works out with Lena tomorrow, it could change everything for me again. I'm not sure if Lena really thought about what she was getting into when she said she'd call me every day. Same goes for Aspen and Juliet, of course. I'm sure all of them mean it when they promise, but those are really hard promises to keep no matter who's making them, even though they're all willing to go through so much trouble before me. It's door-to-door salesman like, hello, hello, hello. Also, at some point, at least one of them will eventually miss a day, and that'll be that. No second chances. Even if we started over, it would never be exactly the same. With my other hand, the one that isn't holding the phone, I reach up and grab my necklace, feeling the warmth of my bead. It's been a big pain lately, but for such a long time, my magic was my most useful tool. My secret weapon. As much hiding and scavenging as I did before, it would have been 10 times worse if any of my crimes had followed me. What are you saying? Friendship! Alright. Are those days really past me now, permanently? Aspen's idea about stopping my magic is interesting and I can't get it out of my head. Being able to be remembered by everyone I care about is the number one thing I could ask for right now. But will it always be that way? Say, there was a way that I could change things and make it so people didn't forget me. What if it wasn't possible for me to change my mind later? Sure, it sounds nice at the moment, but 5 is a long time. I keep being reminded of that. I took my necklace up so that I can see the bead. It still has a soft white glow to it. I wish I knew what it meant. I wish I knew what any of it meant or how it worked. I wish I didn't have to deal with these questions and problems. Of all the forms for my magic to take, it had to be this confusing one. Gripping my bead in my fist, I yank my necklace off my neck and hurl it away from me. It clatters and rattles as it hits the wall and then the floor, lying like a snake in the darkness. Closing my eyes, I silently counted my head. 1, 2. There's no flicker or pop as my necklace reappears around my throat as if it never left. My bead hasn't changed at all, not that I expected it to. Sighing, I roll over into my side, not tired enough to sleep, but not feeling like doing much else either. This necklace has felt like a lot of things before, a comfort, a memento, a guide. It's been my one constant since the beginning. Right now, heavy against my pillow, it feels like an anchor. Glass house high in the city and she's living there so everybody sees her. Jesus Christ. Like always, the next morning I'm cheered up by seeing my friends. After a quick breakfast, Aspen spreads out some sheets of paper on the table and Juliet and I both crowd in to see.
So I started doing some research on Gumiho. I found plenty of information that I thought was interesting, but I'm not sure how much of it will be useful.
Alright.
Hey, that does sound just like me.
Oh, don't say that.
I'm just kidding.
Good. As I was saying, it's hard to figure out what's accurate and what isn't. A lot of the specific details would have had to come from the Gumiho themselves, and as far as I can tell, none of them are talking. I couldn't find anything about memory or forgetting. Maybe it's self-explanatory, why not? Beyond that, most of what seemed accurate were things that we already knew, like being able to change into a fox.
That makes sense.
Have you had any luck, Juliet?
I'm afraid not. I checked what books I could think of, and none of them yielded any more than you said. I'm not aware of anyone else around who might be helpful either, unfortunately. Of course, it's only been a couple of days so far. I'll keep looking. We're bound to learn something eventually.
Sounds good.
I'll keep looking too. There was one other thing that came up I thought might be worth mentioning.
Oh?
I read a lot about Gumiho carrying a special bead that has something to do with their magic.
Oh yeah,
You have one
we
of those
do.
yourself, right?
I remove my necklace, more gently than last night, and hold it out for them to see.
Yeah. I've had it my whole life.
May I see it?
You can try.
I pass it to her and Aspen handles it delicately.
Pardon? What do you mean?
It poofs out of her hand and back around my neck.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I couldn't get rid of it, even if I wanted to.
Am I wrong? Or is it glowing?
Yeah, that part's new. I was in bed when I noticed it a couple days ago. I know it's important, but not how or why.
Your wild instincts inform you.
Juliet says it so matter-of-factly, not like there's something bad or that I should have gotten rid of. They're still a part of me. Matter self, no, the other part of me hasn't gone away. Even as I spent more time away from it, when I first came to Wellington, I still thought of myself as a fox. Now, I'm not sure how I see myself. But my beat and its mysteries are a reminder that I'm something different.
Well, that sounds promising. It means something is happening, even if we're not sure what. Let us know if you notice it changing in any other ways, Miho. The more knowledge we have, the better.
Yeah, I will.
Once again, I think of Silver and her bead, which shone much more than mine. Will mine look the same someday? Look like that someday? Where did the same come from? I wonder what it took to make hers go so brightly. Maybe even Silver doesn't know how the bead works. If it was instinctual, then shouldn't I understand too? I guess I'll just have to ask sometime. I wrap my necklace back around my neck, popping the magnetic clasp together.
One way or another, we'll soon know more about Miho's magic from your experiment.
Yes, I think it's just about time for Miho and I to head out. By the time we get there, it'll have been a full day.
I'm ready to go if you are. You know I hate sitting around waiting.
Another thing we have in common. All right then, let's be off.
Good luck, you two. Let me know how it goes.
Will do.
Oh boy. This time when we get to the bell house, Lena isn't waiting outside.
There's always a chance she just forgot in the regular way. I should have texted her first.
Guess we'll find out.
Oh boy. Though it feels like the 1,000th time in the last few weeks, I'm shaky with nervous energy. At least there's not any risk here. In the worst case scenario, nothing changes. I take the lead and open the door for Aspen, then follow her in. Lena's behind the counter.
Hey, boss!
She looks at me.
Who's your friend?
Fuck! Yeah, the entire necklace goes back to her. I think that's a little weird, but maybe it's because it's joined with the others. I try to hide the disappointment from my face. Well, it was worth a shot. It's too bad, but at least I was prepared.
Miho, I'm...
Oh! That's not funny, Lena.
I remember everything. Told you my secret technique would work. I'll call you again tonight.
Aspen leans against me in relief. Collapses might be a better way to put it. I can tell she's thinking the same thing I am. Dealing with events like her trip home just got a lot easier to deal with.
God, Lena, you nearly gave me a heart attack. But I'm so glad to hear it that I don't even care.
Me too.
Huge weight feels like it's been lifted off my shoulders. Not all of my problems are solved, but at least some of them are. Still at my side, Aspen holds my hand and Lena's eyes bug out in shock.
Wait, are you two?
After giving me a quick kiss on the cheek, Aspen nods.
Why, yes, we are.
Lena looks like she's seen a ghost.
Oh, no way! You seriously started dating someone before I did? I thought I had that one in the bag.
Like usual, I wasn't aware we were competing, but I certainly did win in this case.
Well, I guess just this once it's fine, since you two are pretty cute together. I'll win next time!
And what exactly is next time?
We'll see when the time comes.
Not sure yet, but I'll figure that out soon. I guess I'll leave you two lovebirds alone for a bit. Talk to you tonight, Miho.
Bye!
Bye! Putting her headphones in, Lena disappears into the back of the cafe, leaving the lobby to Aspen and me.
I do only have a bit, unfortunately. Probably better that no customers walk in like this. But I'm really, really glad this worked.
Me too!
Me too. Now we don't have to worry anymore.
Not nearly as much, at least. I'll be busy this evening, but I'll call you later. And I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay. I should go tell Juliet that our idea worked too.
I'm sure she'll be overjoyed as well. Have a good day at work, and I'll try to message you if I can, alright?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll try to figure out how to send a response.
You could try and send her a voicemail.
Don't worry, I'm sure you'll have lots of practice. Talk to you again soon. But not soon enough.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye! We give each other a quick hug and then I head back to the library to deliver the good news. Like we expected, Juliet's also relieved. She gives me a quick lesson in how to send messages, although she's almost as slow as I am. I spend most of my shift working, texting Aspen when I can, and looking forward to tomorrow. Aww. Wow, look at that. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Yeah, we can probably do this scene. And then we're gonna have to stop for tonight. While I'm sitting at the library's front desk, Gwen and Tommy come in, accompanied by Gerby, of course. She did say that they'd be back again. The two of them come over to where I'm sitting. Thank you for the pet.
Sorry to bother you. I know this is a weird question, but the other day there was someone here who played with my son while I was studying.
Yeah, that's me. You've just forgotten about me because that's how it works, sadly. How can I help you?
But neither of us can remember who it was. Do you think you might be able to help?
Texting Aspen's gonna be a reason for Mia learning about phones faster than Juliet. Soon enough, Mia's just gonna be sending like 500 emotes. Oh, she could try and communicate with emotes to an extent.
Hey, actually...
I explained my magic and how I've met Tommy and Gwen a couple times as well as Elijah. When I'm done, both of them look amazed.
Whoa! I can't wait to tell Dad!
That's certainly a lot. But you know what?
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
It lines up with the gaps in my memory.
Yeah.
I thought I was just getting stressed out and forgetting things. Well, I probably am, but I'm glad it's not the case here.
Oh yeah, me too.
Is there some way to keep from forgetting you? Especially if we've met so many times before already.
Give me your number. We exchange numbers and I tell her that Tommy's always welcome to come hunt for bugs here. I just don't know if I'll be joining him.
Talk to you later. Good night.
I pressed the button to end the call on my phone and then gently set the device on my windowsill. Getting through the phone calls needed to make sure I'm not forgotten is more work than I expected. I'm glad that the people I've befriended are willing to put in the effort to see me every day. It's still such an inconvenience though and such a risk. For their sake as much as my own, I need to try to find a better solution. Whether that means getting rid of my magic entirely or not, I have to at least know what my options are. I can't leave it all for Aspen and Julia to figure out either. I need to put my own effort in too. While I'm not nearly as good at reading and researching as they are, they still have one idea that's come to mind a few times. It's time to finally put it into action. Leaving my phone in my room, I get dressed and slip silently out the front door, making my way to Mount Victoria. No. You're gonna try and meet Silver? No. I did that one scene because I thought, okay, nice. We'll meet the boy, but if you're gonna go out and try and meet Silver, that is more than I'm willing to. Well, I would be willing, but that's more than I can do tonight, considering the time. How to get phone numbers? Because, yeah, hi, can I get your number? I'm sorry, I'm not memorable enough for the words. But I'm just happy that the phone thing seems to be working, at least to some extent.
What's in here?
Okay. Let me see. Where is it? Is it this? Oh, where's the version of it with the kiss? There it is. Yeah. All right. Yours is more up to date than some people. Oh, yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch. Oh, man. Well, the game is so nice. So nice. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm so glad we're playing it. I like them. They're so cute. They're so fucking adorable. Yeah. That is gonna be it for tonight. Yeah. That is gonna be it for tonight. Quick heads up, because the weekend is gonna be a little messy when it comes to streams because I forgot many things. You know how on the schedule it's like, oh, you know, we'll do Tokyo Mirage sessions, Yakuza, and Please Be Happy. I'm not sure how many of those are actually gonna happen. Like, we're definitely gonna do Tokyo Mirage session on Friday because I will be trying to actually finish the game. I'm not sure how feasible it is, but I will try. But I forgot about my dad's birthday. Which is this weekend. So I'm gonna be at family dinners and a while, so I don't think Yakuza is happening. Just like how everyone forgets me after some time. Oh no, I feel so bad. I feel so bad. It's like, you're coming over on Saturday, right? We'll go out to eat, and I'm like, ugh. I already planned my entire weekend to be doing many other things, but you know, it's a birthday. I am gonna come over for a birthday for sure. So I'll be Kitty will forgive you, don't worry. I'll be joining Artie for Ace Attorney sometime in the early afternoon on Saturday. But yeah, the Yakuza stream will probably not happen. We'll probably see each other for like more Please Be Happy on Sunday though. Because I'm trying to see if I can fit in a stream sometime in the morning. But on the other hand, I do not want to force anyone else to have to get up early just because I'm trying to fit every single stream like scheduled. Like I just have to accept that that's just not gonna work this week. But I'll post about it. We'll see what we can do. But Tokyo Mirage sessions on Friday is gonna happen. Yakuza probably not, and then Please Be Happy again on Sunday evening. But Saturday will probably not have me streaming myself. But we'll see. You know. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I will send you the screenshots. I will send you the screenshots in a second. You want a Pikachu? Of course. Thank you for the pat. Go in. I'm just about to end though. I'm so sorry. But yeah, we'll try and do that. We'll do Yakuza probably next week. I still think today is Friday. I'm so this week is so weird. Thank you for the pat. For now though, that's gonna be the end for tonight. I wish you all a very, very good night. I'm gonna send you guys over to Permt once again, who's playing One Hand Clapping, which is the platforming thing where you have to sing to some extent, which I've always found very interesting, but because it's a platform, I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that myself. Thanks for stream Strom. No, thank you for coming. Let me just quickly press a few buttons. There we go. Thanks for coming tonight, everyone. I'll see you all very soon. Sing or make noises. More often it's noises. Yeah, it's like... at some point, there's no more singing. There's just noises. Good night. See you all soon. Get some rest. I know I'll be getting some rest now. I'll see you all on Friday. Good night. And bye-bye. Bye-bye.